Yo, what is up, guys?
Yo.
Podcast. Biscuit's already.
Hello.
No, he's not frozen. Okay, we're good. I was about to be mad.
I was about if that happened, I was about to just be like, yo, your computer crashed.
Yo, I think it's your
for me
internet.
to say that.
I think it's
For
your.
me to say that?
No. Biscuit, I think it's your internet because right now you're pixely and Mex is good, so it might be your internet.
Maybe it is. I live in one of those political hot zones, as it were. So we got a lot of people on the Twitters.
Yeah.
Going nuts trying to tell everybody they're not racist these days in this area.
You sound like how radio shows will have a host and they'll have people call in. You sound like the dude calling in right now.
Really? What the fuck? Why?
Like you sound like you have auto-tune on.
You want me to leave the call right quick and see if it gets better?
Okay.
Sure.
He's gonna leave and come back. Let's see.
How about now? Is it better now?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Internet sucks.
What is
No,
up,
yeah, you're
people?
better actually.
Welcome to the Uncensored podcast featuring
Yes, sir.
me. You got Biscuit right there, and you got Mex right there.
What's up?
We are talking about some things today.
Fun.
As is the goal of the show.
Things and
Yes.
stuff. So
Stuff and things.
That is how podcasts usually go.
did you post it in your Discord, by the way, Biscuit?
I did. I put it in my
Yeah, he
field.
did. He did.
I was just curious. It didn't give me a
You were
notification.
getting ready to do it, you fucking bitch. I knew exactly where you were going with that. When did you do it? When did you do it? You're a terrible fucking co-host. Fuck you.
No, but so today we're talking about the first topic. Let's start with SpongeBob. So SpongeBob gay now.
SpongeBob is apparently on the spectrum.
Yeah. Well, there's been
Good.
like a rumor going around for a long time that SpongeBob was gay with Patrick. But
I
now,
mean-
but it was never ever gonna be like nobody ever thought that Nickelodeon
Yeah, as
was
far
gonna
as I
come
was-
be.
As far as I was concerned, that was a meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Nickelodeon, first of all, does not have the right to even do that because the creator is dead. So they don't know what his intent was with the character. But look. In Nickelodeon's defense, maybe he did think SpongeBob was gay, but it was never part of any episode.
Even though he dated a girl.
Even though he
Yeah,
dated a girl.
yeah.
Yep.
And for everybody sharing that clip of SpongeBob going, "Bye, Squidward," right? Post 2006 SpongeBob doesn't count. Suck my dick.
Yeah.
So,
SpongeBob
that
only
clip
counts
doesn't exist.
in the first like 3 seasons, maybe the 4th.
Nah, maybe 5, but that's about as far as I'll go.
Yeah. So, yeah, we have that.
And it's been killing the internet. People were talking about it so much on Twitter with the fucking like the hashtag SpongeBob gay or whatever that I couldn't even dig up like Nickelodeon's original tweet that said it.
Yeah.
Until somebody I saw randomly like hours later retweeted the Nickelodeon one, and it was like celebrating Pride Month with like LGBT cartoon characters, and one of them is Korra.
Yeah.
And that was another one I kind of want to argue about because
that was questionable.
that's what I'm saying. It's not proven. First of all, they didn't actually build up her relationship with that other girl, and I argued with people. I argued with people about this when that show aired. Like as soon as it ended, everybody was arguing: is she lesbian? Is she not? And everyone, anytime you would say I don't think she is, you would just get called like a fucking homophobe or whatever.
Yep.
And I told everybody, I'm like, listen, I would have had no issue with it if it was built up like a normal relationship, like you're supposed
Not just
to do.
stuck in there.
Right, like you're supposed to do when you're writing a story. You build it up like it's a normal relationship.
It's
Like, you don't.
It's like
Go ahead.
it's like with the whole J.K. Rowling thing, in which I did a video on it. Like they just throw this in there to get basically for clout. They're doing it because they want to get more clicks. They want to get brownie points with all these people that'll buy their stuff or watch.
That's
their
called
programs.
virtue signaling.
Exactly, virtue signaling.
Yeah, Legend of Korra kill.
Yep.
The only like scene where it was like, oh, they might be a couple was when they walked into the beam portal to the spirit world.
Yeah, to the spirit world in the last 6 seconds of the final episode.
That proves a lot.
Like, all right. And I remember when everybody started arguing about that, I brought my mother into my room, and I gave her no context to the show, no context to the argument or nothing, right? Yep. I showed her that final scene, right? I was like, and then after she watched the scene, I went to her and I went, is Korra a lesbian? And she goes, I mean, you didn't show me enough. She goes, that could have easily just been two people, like, scared to go through that portal-y thingy.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I was like, thank you.
Yeah, you gotta if you're gonna do a relationship and you're gonna make somebody homosexual or whatever you're gonna do, you need to at least build it up a little bit, right? Like, give them character development. Don't just
It's
throw
just
a
gotta be
trait
written.
on them.
It's got to be written like a normal relationship.
Well, like think of any book, like Percy Jackson, for example. They didn't just say he's gonna be the bravest, strongest dude in the fucking universe. They built him up to where he ended up gaining bravery and strength and was able to do the things he did.
Right. Or like when you start a new video game, the video game doesn't start and you haven't already saved the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's not how it works. It's got to be believable.
Bundy, you have to be memeing. Wait, is that
SpongeBob is an LGBT hero?
Is that you?
Beautiful and brave.
Is that what?
I'm wondering if that's Dylan. It's my girlfriend's friend.
Oh, okay, maybe.
But yeah, so yeah, SpongeBob. I don't think that he should be canonically gay. You know.
And I for the record, I think SpongeBob should have been canceled when Hillenberg died. Just saying.
Yep, it should have ended. They should have ended
it. It's been going downhill since he quit, but it really should have been canceled when he died.
They should have ended it, or they should have done like a tribute episode and then ended it. You know?
Yeah.
They're
butchering his legacy a little bit here.
I mean, the show has been bad since he quit, anyways.
Yeah.
This ended for me. SpongeBob stopped being good after the SpongeBob movie. The first movie
one, right?
was the first movie. The first movie was good. Any subsequent SpongeBob movie has not lived up to the first one. In any way.
No.
Yeah, it's been not a funny show. It's I don't understand. I just don't understand what happened to Nickelodeon, man.
He said,
but he says I'm not memeing theory. It's serious. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either.
I don't believe
it. So yeah, I just think it's a like a problem with media now, to where everything they do is basically the virtue signaling, and they're just pandering to audiences to get clicks.
Look at the overwhelming amount of companies that have been posting the Black Lives Matter shit that you could basically copy and paste because it's the same exact message on every company's social media. Any company that has your email address sent you a letter about the Black Lives Matter thing that was copy paste of the last one that you got. Yep. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous, and that's what it is.
Here's the thing: it's not because they necessarily believe that, but basically every single company has to do that. Otherwise, they're going to be called a racist company, and people are going to stop buying their shit and boycotting it.
They're going to be next on the cancel list, and if there's another riot, they're going to get burnt out.
I don't remember exactly which company it was, but I saw a tweet on Twitter. It was this dude who added this company, and he was like, yo, so I'm assuming you guys are racist because you never said anything about the Black Lives Matter thing or the current situation. And then they responded and were like, oh, wait, whoa, listen. Here's our post from a week ago, right?
I saw that. That was Mark Dice. Yeah, that's a conservative. I know exactly. I haven't watched him in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
But yeah. I know he is. Yep. So and they responded with the same copy paste letter that everybody's been posting.
Yep. Bro, it's on the cover of Madden. It's on the cover of Call of Duty.
I went to Indeed looking for a job, and the top of the page says Black Lives Matter. If you click on it, it's the same fucking. We stand for inclusivity. And
you're not gonna get hired now because you're not black.
It was on Rocket League when you first opened the game. It's just a white page, black letters of just.
Bro, it's on the UFC game,
bro. Take a chill pill. Man. Unless you say something racist, you're probably not gonna be racist.
Let me just clarify this before we get the fucking people coming in saying we're racists and all that. Nobody here believes that black lives do not matter. Not a single person here.
Agree. Of course they do.
All lives matter. The problem, unless you're a murderer or rapist.
Exactly. The problem with using Black Lives Matter as the banner is that it encompasses so much of an ideology that I disagree with.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of other people in the country disagree with. And it's set up, it's rigged. Yeah. It's set up so that when you disagree with it, they could just say, oh, you don't think Black Lives Matter, you're a racist. You're disagreeing with the movement.
I think all lives matter.
I'm disagreeing with the ideology that people in the movement have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to get me to say I don't think black people matter. Of course they do.
Damn, y'all racist for real.
Yeah, I like this guy.
Yeah.
This is my kind of guy.
I'm pretty sure that's Dylan. So,
yeah.
I can't be racist. I got a Mexican dad.
It'd be very interesting if that's not Dylan, considering the name being but yeah, no. So like, I just think that we need to stop the virtue signaling.
Yeah, very out of hand.
And it's getting way out of hand.
Two of the greatest examples of all this virtue signaling was Supergirl and Batwoman. Those two shows were.
I showed
those two shows.
Ruby Rose quit, and I think they're actually replacing her.
They are. That's
I thought they were going to cancel. Yeah, I thought they were going to cancel the show. That show was trash.
Fire. Their whole thing was look, powerful women, lesbian.
Yep.
Oh wait.
Let's put it this way. Do you know how lucky they are that Supernatural, the final like 5 or 6 episodes, had to be postponed till the fall? Because you know damn well they weren't going to get a good fall rating at all. Supernatural is their only show that everybody still watches. Everything else is like far lefty SJW bullshit now. Mm-hmm. Even The Flash, which I started out liking,
Yeah.
Right?
The Arrow and the Flash, I was like, these are pretty good. I like these. And then like 5th, 6th season of Arrow, 4th, 3rd of
do you remember
Flash,
the
I was like
days?
garbage.
And they fired what's his name? They fired Plastic Man, the guy who played Plastic Man on the Flash.
Really?
Yep, because like years ago he said something that everybody's like, somebody dug up a 6-year-old tweet that they say is sexist now or whatever the fuck. So he's fired. It's like, CW is going to be deleted soon, man. No one's going to watch that shit.
Do you remember the days where people were like, DC has the good shows and Marvel has the good movies? Now Marvel has both, right? Because they're coming out with the Loki show. They're coming out with, like, most...
Marvel's being questionable.
See how that goes.
Marvel's being questionable in both departments now. With their
Marvel's going downhill
the main bad thing with I'm pretty sure every single movie except for Captain
the finale of the Avengers was making Captain America black.
That was. Don't
get me wrong. It did happen in the comics. I'm not trying to say it didn't happen. I'm just saying they did that so that they can have another 6 Captain America movies where he's black. And they can say, look at us.
That's another thing I want to mention because Max brought up, what was it? Was it Batgirl or Catwoman?
Wonder Girl, Supergirl and Batwoman.
Yeah. Okay, Supergirl is, oh my God, that's when I realized this whole thing was going downhill because I started watching that. The first season was bad. Dude, every other joke is men bad, straight man bad. Every joke.
Yep.
I showed my girlfriend just one of the advertisements that they released from it because it was so horrible. The CGI was disgusting. It was
for what, Supergirl?
Yeah, it was horrible.
Supergirl is now it's gotten a little bit better with the effects because it was definitely the lowest budget because originally what happened was I think it was a CBS show, CBS or NBC. It wasn't a CW show.
Okay.
And it failed on that network. Nobody was watching it there, which if you ask me, it kind of makes sense. It's out of place on those other networks because they don't really show that kind of like superhero stuff.
CW really didn't.
Yeah, it didn't make too much sense for it to be there. So
all TV shows are out of fucking date, right? Like cable TV. Like I think once not my generation, but the generation above me, maybe even the one after them, after they go, like they're gone, dead. I think TV's just gonna die. Honestly.
I think TV's gonna die sooner, dude. Like,
I think it's gonna die sooner too.
Everything can be found on like streaming sites like Netflix and stuff like that, and everything can be found on YouTube or any other.
Yeah, the thing that bothers me about it is when like Netflix first came out, like back in 2008. I mean their streaming service. Netflix, the company's been around for a while. But when the streaming service came out, the thing that I liked was it was a new frontier at the time. There was no other companies doing internet streaming. Yeah. At least legally. There was no way to pay a company for on-demand stuff.
Yeah.
So what happened was they scooped up a lot of shows, the rights to stream a lot of shows for like nothing. Yep. Because the people who own the rights didn't see any value in those IPs because nobody was watching them anymore. And they were like, who the fuck are these guys? Yeah, whatever. Give me $50 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to get a little penny on this.
Yeah, exactly. So once it started to get big, and then the rights holders are usually the parent companies of a lot of those TV shows were usually like CBS in the end or Fox, like a lot bigger companies. Yeah. So once this whole thing started to get big, now all these companies are starting to make their own streaming services. You got the CBS app, the NBC app, the Fox app, HBO.
CBS has had an app for a long time.
Disney now
and a website.
Yeah, but
I remember watching.
They've had it, but like I think they only made a paid version like last year. I think.
No, they had a paid version a long time ago because I remember I remember watching Survivor because me and my girlfriend had been rewatching an old season of it.
Yeah.
And I remember watching Survivor, and if you wanted to you could get the season a little bit early. You could pay for the CBS subscription, and then you would get all of the episodes on demand.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, but my point is, once it started becoming more profitable, the parent companies of the companies who own the rights to a lot of these shows that they didn't give a fuck, and I mean older shows. I'm not saying stuff that's brand new. I think the cool thing about Netflix was that they had so many different like random shows from the 90s and the early 2000s that weren't on the air anymore. Yeah. They had cartoons. They had such a wide range of just random shit. I remember in 2008, one time I was scrolling for so long through the movies, I found the softcore porn on Netflix. I was like, that's how desperate they were to get people to watch Netflix at the time. This is a long time ago. It's not there anymore.
We got porn. Please come.
Yeah, please pay us the $12 a month. We have boobies. So they had so much random shit. And then once it became profitable, every company that owned the companies who own those rights were like, well, fuck it. I'm making my own app now. And then what happens is the reason why we liked Netflix in the first place is because it was a cheaper alternative to cable because it had so much shit on it.
Yeah.
So what happens when everybody starts making their own app and all your shows go to different places now?
You got to pay for 8 different services.
Yeah, it becomes just as expensive as cable was because now I need 6 different apps to watch the shows that I want to watch. So it kind of bit us in the ass a little bit, I think.
And that's when you go to 1, 2,
Not
3
that on
movies.
demand is bad; it's still very good. It's just the way things kind of went.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, the only people I know that like still retain and have cable are people who live in areas that have really shit Wi-Fi and internet service, right?
You know, I'll tell you this:
people.
I live with my parents and my grandparents. We all. I make no bones about this. I am a mama's boy, and I'm going to live with my parents until they are gone. I do not care what anybody says. I will buy a house with them. I will do whatever I have to do, right?
Yep.
If I lived on my own, I would not have a cable box. Even though I like to watch Monday Night Raw, I would find some way to syndicate it online or Hulu does it. They cut it the episodes down to like 45 minutes, but they still show it.
Yep.
But if it was just me, I would just have a more expensive internet package.
I mean,
no cable. I don't need.
Yeah, you could do even just like the Hulu Live is like $50 a month, and you get all the live.
Yeah,
channels
my friend does that. That's what my friend does. Yeah. They got rid of their cable box and they just did one internet.
Because I mean, like, look, I can get my internet $50 a month, no tax or anything added onto that. It's just $50 a month even. Then I can do $50 a month for Hulu Live. I get all my TV versus paying for a $200 package from the internet provider. Right.
And the thing about these apps is there's no contracts. Yep. So let's say you're going through a rough patch and you need to save money for a few months. You could just cancel your fucking $50 a month Hulu and just watch YouTube for a few months because YouTube is fucking free.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, not everybody's the same, but I could survive. YouTube is largely why I survived this fucking lockdown.
Oh my god.
Is because I'm just watching videos that are like 3 and 4 hours long, just sitting there.
I watched a video of squirrels running an obstacle course to get walnuts. I'm not even joking. It was like a 30-minute video where this dude built an obstacle course. He had 4 squirrels and he named them, and they actually ran the course.
I watched a 4-hour video last week of a guy playing the original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Yeah.
But he hacked the game so that all his stats were 0. And he challenged himself to beat the entire game without leveling the character, just with 0 stats. I sat there and watched the whole 4 hours of this guy try to beat the fucking game with no stats.
Did he beat it?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
You watch stuff you never thought you would have watched during quarantine.
Yeah,
I mean, even Eminem, even like big names like Eminem's like, yeah, sometimes I just get on YouTube and I go down the rabbit hole and I'm just on there for hours and hours and hours on end.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody does that because it's just there's so much shit on YouTube.
Exactly.
Even if a lot of it is garbage, which okay, fine, valid argument. There's so much shit there. There's a little bit of you will find something that you personally enjoy, even if it takes you a while to get there.
Who like I've hit spells where like there's like moments or like a day or two where I'm not seeing any content that I'm wanting to watch. Yeah. But never do I go more than 2 days without having a video come out that like, ooh, I want to watch that.
Usually when that happens, I'll search up like an old YouTuber that I used to like and just go back and watch their old stuff or something.
Dude, man, sometimes I do that and then the old YouTuber's not a YouTuber anymore and I cry. Like it's sad. ISPs are like 2 or 3 years away from selling internet packages just like cable companies. They already do that. Yep.
They do. ISPs are cable companies.
Yeah.
like
Charter
if you're getting internet,
TV.
If you're getting internet, you're getting it from a company that will also give you cable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's already happening. Verizon, Comcast, all of them.
I mean, like,
Cox,
I think going back to the streaming service thing where you say everybody's making them, I'm with Charter, right? Whenever I signed up for Charter, they're like, we can also give you this bundle where you get our internet streaming service. We get on demand on all this. I was like, nah, I'm good. Nah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't need the fucking TV. I don't even want a house phone anymore. I'd rather just pay for my cell phone and an internet package.
The internet has literally broken every other like social like platform. Like if you can get on the internet, you really don't need TV that much. You don't need
you meant I got you, Bundy. You meant controlling what sites you have access to. That's been an argument for a long time.
If you want to go to internet, or if you want to go to Netflix, you got to pay us this much for the Netflix.
Well, right. That's what people were worried about with I think it was which bill was it?
It was I know exactly which one you're talking about. I just can't remember. It was like 2 years ago.
I forgot the name. Yeah. It wasn't that long ago. I just forgot the name. I forget everything. But that was the argument because it opened the door for internet companies to be like, okay, well, you can go to Netflix, but you can only watch in 480p because you're not paying for full speed.
Yep.
So if you want full speed Netflix, you got to pay us an extra $15 a month. So yeah, I definitely get what you're saying, and that is very dangerous.
If that happens, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah, me too. Mm-hmm. That's fucking bullshit.
Luckily, I'm locked in for 2 years on my current.
Yeah, you're gonna tell me I'm gonna pay Verizon to have a fucking
net neutrality. That's what it was.
You're gonna tell me I pay Verizon to get like 600 megabit per second download speeds, and I pay them every month, and then I'm not gonna be able to watch it in 4K. You could suck my nuts.
Yep.
Fuck out of here.
So if Netflix charges a certain fee, and then a company that provides it to you makes you pay a higher fee, Isn't that just like the price gouging of like the coronavirus people buying?
Yes. Here's what's gonna happen. Here's the even more nefarious part. What Netflix can start to turn around to, or YouTube, what any of these big websites or streaming services can turn around and do is go to the ISPs and say, listen, we want to sign an exclusivity deal with you, where our fast speeds will be exclusive to your service. So then everybody else has to pay a premium on their bill to be able to, or they won't even be. If let's say I have Optimum and they signed with Verizon, I wouldn't be able to go to Netflix or YouTube or wherever the fuck sign that.
Yep.
There's definitely a lot of dangers, and I do think it's still an evolving thing.
The further they go down this idea of let's do that type of thing, the more people are just going to be like, I can watch this illegally online. Just I have to find a website.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, even then, I think once it gets to that point, I think VPNs are going to become an even bigger thing, where they'll be like,
100%.
You can bypass all these speed locks.
VPNs are bullshit, though, because they're not constantly active, like on all your devices, unless you remember to turn them on.
Yep.
And there's things that will get tracked regardless of whether you're behind the VPN or not.
Yep.
So, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're logged into Facebook, Facebook is keeping track of everything you like and all the pictures you take anyways.
Well, so say this net neutrality thing happens, right? And they go ahead and they start locking off, like, Netflix and stuff, right? And you're a person who owns a VPN. And you can be like, look, our VPN can bypass that lock on your speeds.
Yeah.
You know, if they do that, then that's going to be a big selling point for that VPN.
Yeah, I don't know how well that would work, because I don't know if they could actually translate that speed through a VPN. You can, but not entirely. I'm pretty sure
it wouldn't be
fucks
full
up your
speed, but like
VPNs. Yeah, VPNs are also very easy to filter. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Especially now that these companies are really big. If you're talking about, if you went back 10, 15 years ago, when like a lot of the vast majority of internet users didn't know what a proxy was.
Yeah.
They were a lot harder to track, and they were more advantageous to use.
Well,
these days, now these companies officially own these servers, and they're licensed to a person.
Yeah,
I mean, it's totally different.
My computer comes pre-installed on Windows 10. If you go into your settings, you can turn on VPN in your settings. I'm like, I don't trust that shit.
Yeah, I mean, you have to put the IP in. But, yeah.
But like, I don't trust that. Windows is just gonna let me use a VPN there. Nah.
Yeah, you know, when I bought a new hard drive for this computer.
Mm-hmm.
When I did the fresh Windows install, I don't know if you actually notice all the things it asked you to turn on. Like, it wants location services on as if you're a cell phone. It wants you to anonymously send data to Microsoft. If you want to use Cortana, you also agree to have your feedback automatically sent to Microsoft, which means all your recordings when you talk to Cortana are going to be sent back to Microsoft, so that according to them, so that they can see how well Cortana responds to certain sentences and what needs to be improved.
This one, what you're saying.
Exactly. So I disabled everything.
Yep.
I did too.
Everything. I don't want to send them any information. Nothing. If you're one of those people who clicks next or all those windows, all that shit is turned on. If you use Cortana, that shit is turned on. And I know you're gonna call me a fucking tinfoil hat conspiracy guy. Everybody's listening to me. No. The point is, I value my privacy. Exactly. Yeah. I value my privacy, and I don't want you knowing what the fuck I'm typing.
Whenever I set up people's phones, another thing is those settings will burn batteries, right?
Yeah.
Like,
that's you on a phone. Yeah.
So like whenever I set up people, because I work at the phone store, I sell phones. So whenever I'm setting up somebody's phone for them, I get to that setting on an iPhone where it's like, do you want to share this information with Apple? I select no for them, because it's like, why would you? You're just wasting your own battery, and you're sending.
It gives you nothing. It gives them.
I don't even let Instagram use my fucking camera. Like, I
don't even have Instagram.
I don't either. Yeah, sometimes I click on the thing and be like, do you allow Instagram to use your camera? Nope.
Yep.
I'll take my picture on my camera app.
You ever download an app, like you're looking for something random, like a fucking soundboard app, just something dumb, right? You ever download it, and then when you open it, it's like this app wants access to your contacts or whatever, and you're like, what the fuck? I delete shit on site when that happens. On site. It's like, I don't even care if I hit no, I'm not using it. All the time. Kill, I've got all that disabled on the registry level Windows. That's fucking important. I should do that too.
When I try to access U.S. sites from Germany, sometimes the sites are smart enough to filter out commonly used.
Yeah, they do that now.
Yep.
I heard it was a couple of months ago. I seen an article where Netflix is actively trying to figure out a workaround, because a lot of people in countries that have shittier Netflix are trying to get American Netflix or Canadian Netflix or whichever one has the best Netflix.
Well,
and they don't want that because of rights and stuff.
Well, like
streaming rights.
With what's it called? Like, so KSI released a song of his, right?
Yeah.
And it was available only in the UK for a short time, and then it was going to come out in the US. Me and Max wanted to go ahead and listen to it. We downloaded
I found
VPN
it
on our phone, and we went and listened to it. We put ourselves in Britain, you know? So, like, you can use that as a strategy. Like, it's not...
It's flawed.
You can eventually find a VPN server that's not going to be...
right. My point is the more and more popular these things become, the more and more moot they're going to be.
Yeah.
Because eventually, when every company knows that everybody's using a fucking VPN, it's going to be very easy to track which company you're using.
It's another reason why I don't use the big VPNs like the one that PewDiePie promotes and all that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm like, well, if everybody knows about it, they're just going to block the VPN servers that are on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hulu is pretty hard to fool. I haven't tried. I use my friend's Hulu.
Yeah.
So I haven't needed to do that. I don't know if there's any.
He also uses his friend's Hulu too. Biscuit. I know this for a fact. Bundy. I know him. Yeah.
Yeah.
When he said he's from Germany.
I don't know if there's any locational differences on Hulu. Like I know there are on Netflix. So I don't know if there's any need to do it. But it wouldn't surprise you. Like I said, I read the article that Netflix is trying to crack down on it. Netflix was also trying to crack down on how many people can, how many different accounts you can have. Yeah, it's fucking annoying.
Yeah, you have to pay like $5 plus for like more than 3 accounts or something compared to the other one.
On Hulu, you can just have as many people streaming it as you want. Really? I haven't had a single problem.
Oh.
Yeah, you could have a lot of devices.
Who was that famous? It was some rapper, right? And he came out on stage and he's like, everybody listening right now, here's my Hulu account and password. Go ahead and get free Hulu, and gave it to everybody, and they all started watching it.
That's fucking funny. I remember I got my Hulu account hacked. My Netflix account hacked once, and my password was changed. And I recovered it and everything, and I went in, and you know how you can go on Netflix and see the IP addresses of every device and then the type of device. I seen a PS3 and an iPhone logged in like South Korea. I'm like, yo, you sons of bitches, get the fuck off my Netflix right now.
You do not belong here.
Yeah, it's fucking funny. And there was like 10 devices, so they just gave my password to everybody.
Yep.
But yeah, you could definitely. That's partially why they cracked down on it too.
Yeah.
To help stop that a little bit. But yeah.
Are you guys ready for a topic switch?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go to CHAZ.
CHAZ.
The Soy Boys have taken over.
They've taken over a city block. They're not letting it go.
Oh, six city block radius. They took over.
Yeah, 6 city block radius. So racist.
Racist?
They got you too, bro. They got you too.
Racist.
That's racist.
So, Biscuit, go into a little bit more detail for the uneducated.
So a few days ago, what I assume to be a chapter of Antifa, I'm not positive about that, but what I assume to be, they took over a 6-block radius in Seattle. They have issued demands to the mayor. The governor, get this, didn't even know it was happening. He was holding a press conference about something entirely unrelated. And one of the journalists, like, when they went to ask the question, they were like, "So what do you plan to do about these guys that are taking over your city in Seattle?"
What are you talking about?
And he's like, "Wait, what?" He's like, "Who?"
That's when you send in the National
Guard. Things that
Guard.
makes me laugh when you have all these people, and again, you don't have to like the president, but you have all these people saying the president doesn't know what he's doing. He's butt fuck retarded. He doesn't know what's going on.
None of the
president knows what's going on in your state, and you don't.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yep. And you know what I think's really happening there in Seattle?
What?
They're all selling vapes in there because it's banned. They're just selling vapes inside of the 6 city block radius.
I heard also they stormed. I think they took over in that area is City Hall, I believe, right?
Yep.
For that city.
Yeah,
they took over
Capitol Hill.
Autonomous zone.
Yeah, autonomous zone.
Yep. CHAZ. When they took over City Hall, do you know how they were able to take over City Hall? I don't know if you read the article.
Didn't.
What?
They were able to take over City Hall because they had on their side a girl who worked in the building. And she led the charge. And when they got up to the steps, she was just like,
"What you in?
Let's go, boys."
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like, how fucked up is that your own city government is taking your fucking city away? Yep. And they declared themselves, except they're not part of the United States anymore. And
that's not how this works, bud.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
listen, they're not part of the United States. They're about to get fucking drone striked. Right?
They're about to get invaded as fuck.
They're basically, this is an action of war to declare take off a piece of the United States and forcefully.
It's not even. It's different. It's even different from a state seceding because they forcibly took over a piece of U.S. land. Is what they've done.
Yes,
that's an invasion, my guy. That's invasion.
I understand to send in the United States military to American soil. You need the governor of that state's approval. I get that, and that should definitely stand because if I let my guy overstep bounds, then the next guy can overstep bounds. So I totally get that. But what I'm saying is when you forcibly take over United States land and the governor is not stopping you, that should be perceived by the government as an act of war, and the military should automatically be allowed to act. Even if it's only in that area, they should be allowed to go in and take it back. That's just my... If the whole state wants to succeed and they do the paperwork and the whole thing, that's different. But when it's something like this,
forcibly
I don't think
land.
that should happen. Yeah. You should be... Don't get me wrong.
Which people are going to be like, America is all forcibly stolen land. Right?
Shut your mouth.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Listen, that happened a long, long time ago. This America isn't the same America as it was before.
I'm going to tell you something. Every piece of land that someone lives on was forcibly taken by someone else. Doesn't matter if you live in Europe, in Africa, in Asia. It doesn't matter. Wherever you live, Australia it was somehow forcibly taken.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So nobody's land has always been theirs. We're not trying to be fucking idiots here. But right now, it's owned by a country, and you've just stolen it from a country. You know what I find one of the best things about this whole thing was? I seen Tim Pool made a video about it today. A picture. Did you know there's a whole subreddit devoted to this place where people are like arguing and stuff? They're trying to find the flag and everything.
I didn't.
Oh my goodness.
This is fucking. You know what? One of the big things they're arguing about is the guy who took over, like the power vacuum that was created. Because when you create a territory, somebody's obviously going to want to take over. Like a power vacuum is just it goes along with creating a territory.
Yeah.
If there's no leader, if you just say
somebody's going to step up and be the leader.
If you just say this land is asshole land now, right?
Yeah.
Someone's going to want to fucking be the leader of all that shit and get all the money and whatever goes through there, right?
Yep.
So the guy who took over, the biggest argument is they don't like that guy because he's like ruling with an iron fist. There, allegedly, I don't have proof of this. They are allowing rape on the streets. They are extorting the businesses that were in that zone for protection.
Yep, I read about that.
If they don't, they're breaking their shit up.
So, like,
the funniest thing I saw was that they have a plot of land for farming, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look very big. Like maybe the size of like my front yard or something. Very small. Yeah. Right? But they till the dirt so that you can plant stuff. And they put a big old fucking sign right at the front. And they painted on the sign, right? You know what the sign says?
Mm-hmm.
This farmland only for blacks and indigenous people.
Holy, that's not racist, guys.
You took over a piece of American land so that you could force segregation on people again.
Yep.
How fucked up is that?
Yeah.
The South will rise again, just in the North this time.
South will rise again.
No, but like so. I saw. I was reading an article about it, and I saw this news reporter went in and said they saw it, and most of it was peaceful, but they did see acts of violence happening and stuff when they were walking through CHAZ, right?
Yeah.
So like, the crazy thing is they're just allowing all this stuff to happen. This has become a dictatorship by the dude that's the leader there now.
Yeah, right? because he's the only guy with a gun.
Yep.
This is why
everybody needs a gun.
This is why Second Amendment people are so strong on the Second Amendment.
Yep.
Because let's say something like that would happen. Now it might not.
You're trying to do it in North Carolina?
Let's say something like that would happen on a national level, right?
Yeah.
I'm not letting people take my shit.
No.
Nope. We will get shot.
Now, does this not feel like the start to a zombie apocalypse movie? Like,
well, no. This seems like we're already halfway through the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, right.
They already set up their civilization. They took over a piece.
Oh.
It looks like the beginning of the first Last of Us. Like when you wake up and it's exactly what it looks like.
They got the fucking gates and you got to go through and they check.
You got to sneak under because the military. You're not allowed to leave the area.
Yep.
Like first of all, fuck you. I can go wherever I want. All right, it's a zombie apocalypse. It's still America. If I want to go out and get eaten by a zombie, I can go out and get eaten by a zombie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell me I can't leave. Fuck out of here.
There was a TV show called Jericho, which is like what would happen to the U.S. after a nuclear attack. This is so reminiscent of that. It's like every town is for itself. Towns will fight towns, cities will fight cities, and people will fight different people. It's like
CHAZ has armed guards. Yeah, the armed guards work for the dude who took over.
Yep.
Those are not the people with guns. The people who live, like let's say there's apartment buildings in there. The people who live there, they don't have guns.
Nope.
What the fuck? They have to do what they...
The business owners that are being extorted, they don't have guns. You think they'd let themselves be extorted?
That's what I'm saying.
CHAZ is a perfect example of why if the government tries to do something, we all have guns. What are you gonna do?
CHAZ is the people that we tell on Twitter is like, if you don't like America, fucking leave. They just decided to make it not America, and now they're realizing how fucking stupid they are.
Yeah.
Or let's say CHAZ happened where I live or where you live, right? Just for argument's sake. If that happened, this is another reason to have the Second Amendment.
Yep.
Because if you're gonna come in and say now I'm part of CHAZ, no, fuck you. When you step on my land, there's America again. So fuck you.
We bought this land. We own this land. You're not telling us what to do with this land.
Imagine we have the Great U.S. CHAZ War.
Well,
just imagine the name.
This is why back in 2016, when Trump first won and everybody in California had their panties in a bunch and they wanted to secede, I was begging the government to let them secede. Just because I wanted my government to then mount an invasion and take it back.
Yep.
I wanted to watch the war so bad, California versus the United States, like the country of California versus the United States.
Yep.
That would have been so fucking funny. It would have been like a 60-second war.
Oh, yeah.
You would have seen a bunch of military roll up to the California border, right, with tanks and nukes and every fucking weapon that we have at our disposal, and they would have been like, we're invading you. And California would have been like,
we're sorry.
Yeah.
No, California would be like, we're going to fight back, and then we're going to be like, with what? And they're like, oh, it's a gun-free zone.
It's a gun-free zone.
All 2 of our soldiers have died. We forfeit.
Yeah, but did you see Bundy? It said Autonomous Zone has already run out of resources and is asking for donations.
I saw that.
GoFundMe's and shit, bro. Like, are you out of your mind?
Guys, this zone has lost all of its stuff. We need help, please. Send food and water and resources.
You know what another one of the funny things was? Apparently somebody, they snuck back out to America and they stole a llama. And they brought a llama back to CHAZ. And they got mad because somebody went up to the llama and they fed him a slice of pepperoni pizza. And they knew because I guess the person who brought the llama like seen him munching on the pizza or whatever. And they were like, you guys are fucking... They made a post in the CHAZ Reddit, right? They're like, you guys are fucking assholes. I brought the llama here to try and give people a little joy and maybe as a future source of yarn, right? They went, but you morons don't understand that llamas have vegetarian diets and you fucking fed them pepperoni. Dude, it's fucking hilarious.
They're like, we want the power. They get the power... They are retarded with the power.
Not only have they forcibly taken a piece of land, they have also sent a spy and stolen goods from America. That's all I'm saying.
That's an act of war.
Yep. You're going to tell me there was just a llama sitting in the middle of Seattle? Bullshit.
World War III, everybody in the entire world versus CHAZ. I want to see it happen.
No, it's going to be instead of the Great Emu War of Australia, it's going to be the Great Llama War.
Right.
So I was about to say, I want to drop a nuke there, but you can't because then you'd fuck up the rest of Seattle, which fuck Seattle anyways. But you'd fuck up the rest of Seattle, which is still America, so you can't really do that. But God, that'd be so funny. Like, let's say for argument's sake, they take over all of fucking Seattle, like the whole city.
Yep.
Drop a nuke on that motherfucker.
Yep.
I mean, the mayor there obviously doesn't care. She's not stopping them. She was like, oh, no, it's peaceful or whatever the fuck. Like, she just fucking bent over and spread her butt cheeks for them, right? So, like, I mean, if she's not going to do it, let them take over the whole fucking city. Don't give them any federal aid. Don't give that city any federal aid, anything. Don't give them nothing. And wait for these motherfuckers to
You know how to make them crumble? Cut off welfare. Cut off welfare in Seattle. Done. They're done. They have nothing. There's motherfuckers in there that are giving government federal aid that don't live in America anymore.
No, you think there is? That's a good question.
There most likely is.
I mean, they're probably getting the unemployment, the pandemic unemployment, even though it's about to run out. They're probably getting it. So yeah, you might be right. It depends. It depends on who it is and if they filed or not. Who knows? But it's very possible.
Yeah.
What else was I going to say? Fuck. Oh, that reminded me of all these cities trying to cut off their police departments now, and they're going to disband them and shit. Hi, DJ's girlfriend.
She was waving to her friend who was watching the stream.
Oh. But yeah, all these cities that are disbanding their police department and stuff. My mayor said he wants to defund the NYPD. In which case, go fuck yourself. I refuse to be here when the city is set ablaze when we no longer have police.
Yep.
I'm telling you that as a fact. But there was an article that came out where they did a poll. It's the website is called CDL something. It's a journalism site for people who do professional trucking. So because you need a CDL. So it's like CDL Weekly or whatever the fuck it's called, right? They did a poll of a bunch of truckers, and I think like it was something like 78% of all those who were polled said that if they are given, they told their dispatchers that if they're given a job to a city that's even discussing defunding their police department, they will not go because they will not risk their safety.
Yeah, good.
Have you seen? Speaking of, I mean, we talked about it. We talked about it in the last stream where the trucker got pulled out of his truck and got killed in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I wouldn't. If I was a trucker, I wouldn't risk my life.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not going there. Fuck
no.
you.
Yeah, I don't get the whole argument of defund the police anyways. If they want better police and they want more training, how do you think it's going to happen? You need better pay and more money.
Yeah,
reform, exactly. Reform is a totally different. You had us, again, I have to keep going back to this. You had us all on the same page. We were like, yo, reform the fuck out of the police. There's issues with the police. We're good. Do what you got to do, right? Then all of a sudden, we don't need police anymore. Wait. Dissolve the police department? So you're telling me if I live in your city now, Minneapolis, if I live in your city now and somebody robs me, I go, oh, well, sucks to be me, and then I go home and shove my thumb up my ass.
Like, no, that's when I get a gun. There's no cops. There's no cops to stop me from shooting these idiots.
Listen, I've started to realize that I agree with a lot of libertarian views, and that actually is one of them, to get rid of police departments. I don't agree with that one, right?
Yeah,
I believe if you get rid of all the police departments in America, shit is going to hell.
Yeah, yeah. Like a full libertarian usually is like an anarcho-capitalist.
Yeah,
meaning they believe there should be no regulation on capitalism at all, no regulation on business. Meaning you don't need business. If you're a builder, you're an architect, you don't need building permits. There's no inspections after the building is up.
I disagree with that.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I don't disagree with libertarians all the way. But there's a couple of things that I agree with them on. So I get that. Kill police unions and other public sector unions. Yep. I agree with you 100%. I have been anti-union nearly my entire life.
Yep.
I get why they were formed in the first place, because especially when they were formed, a lot of employers were taking advantage. And yo, fuck the little guy. I'm paying you $1.50 an hour, and that's it.
But nowadays,
there's no retirement. There's no nothing, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But nowadays,
I would like to assume that we're all educated enough so that when we take a job, we're smart enough to at least say, is there a retirement plan? And if not, you move on and you find another job. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I would hope so. If not, if you don't ask that and you work at a job for 15 years and then you realize you're not getting anything when you retire or whatever, I'm sorry. That sucks. You should know what you're getting into. Somebody should tell you what you're getting into. This is why we need, I think, basic stuff like that in high school. But that's a different argument altogether.
You know what might be interesting to see? If they do defund the police, how many different communities would have their own, like, private, like, community
That's
police?
What's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. You're going to get private fucking militaries, and then people are going to be even more mad.
But everybody forgets the fucking whole... They're wanting community watch. But George Zimmerman...
These Minneapolis fucks want social workers. What the fuck is a social worker going to do when there's a guy with a fucking switchblade cornering me in a fucking alley?
Yep. Nothing.
Get the fuck out of here.
When Sir, they started talking are you okay?
Yeah. When they started talking about this, over the past week, like, I don't even know how many. It was like 1 million houses went up for sale in Minneapolis.
Yep.
No motherfuckers want to live there anymore.
Nope.
Why would you want to own a house that's about to get burned down and looted?
That's the next Detroit.
Yeah. Because what's going to happen now is those houses aren't going to be worth anything in another year when the police department is done. When they're done with all the paperwork and the police are finally gone, the houses aren't going to be worth anything because they're liable to be fucking destroyed.
Like one big moving point of where I moved now is there's police officers that live in this area, right?
Yeah, I visited there. There's always a police officer at the front.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. There's always a police officer here, and that makes me feel a lot safer knowing that I have a police officer here that's watching our community. A police officer, not a community watch person who I can't get in contact with.
Yeah. I seen an article that was talking about there was a city or a town in New Jersey. Was it Camden? I forget where in Jersey. They dissolved their police like 10 years ago or something. Yeah. Maybe more. And they were trying to use it as a positive example of why we should let them dissolve their police or whatever.
Yeah.
But the difference is it shouldn't be called dissolved because they reformed it. They did dissolve it. So for like a split second, there was no police, right?
Yeah.
But they rehired 100 officers from the old police department. So yes, they culled it. They got rid of a lot of the assholes, right? I'm not saying don't do that. That's what I mean when I say reform. Go through it. The people you should not have a cop who weighs 600 pounds, right? Get rid of him. Fire him.
Don't have a cop who can't run a certain speed. Right. Don't have a cop who can't lift this.
There's a whole litany of things you need to do. I'm not saying there's not, but this is what they did, and they changed the rules going forward. So now, once they rebuilt the police department with all these new rules, it was still the police department, but now it resembles more like a 1950s police department where you knew the cop that worked your neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I like. I think that's something that every police department should do.
Yeah.
The same
cops
3 or 4 cops
should
work
be
in
required to live in the area that they're working in.
You are. That's actually true. You can't, at least as far as I know, because I know my friend tried to be a cop, and they were calling him back and forth because they didn't know where to send his application because he lived on a border.
Yeah.
Between cities, like the block, it's like you go 1 block over and it's another fucking town now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what it was.
Yeah.
So there's definitely an extent of that, but you should definitely have to be stationed.
Yeah.
Where you live.
Yeah.
So that, and like that article was saying, well, now the police, when a new cop is hired, he goes door to door and he introduces himself, and then I'm good with that. That's a great rule. But they didn't get rid of it. They're using it as an example of getting These people in Minneapolis want no cops, 0. Yeah. They don't want a police force. That's totally wrong. They're not equivalent to each other.
And one good thing that's going to come out of this whole situation at the very, very end is you're going to go to anybody that wants to be a police officer is going to go to a police station. They're going to say, hey, I want to be a police officer. And the cops inside are going to be like, wait, what, really? And they're going to hire them, Because because tons and tons and tons of cops from everywhere are quitting.
Yeah, here too. Yeah, it's bad.
Because
it's not going to be any cops left.
They're being demonized for a select few idiots.
They're probably afraid for their lives right now because their local governments are no longer defending them.
Nope.
And don't get me wrong, I know there's a lot of corruption in that, and when they do bad things, they get defended. I get that.
Yep.
But I mean in the normal circumstance. So like cops will get beat, or even here was last year, I think it was, where somebody just walked up to a squad car and shot the cop in the face.
Yep.
It was right here. I know where it was.
Yep.
And they just, whatever it is, this is, so cops who are actually good cops and not fucking around and murdering people for no reason now do not want to work that job anymore because now you're telling them we don't need you anymore. And if people kill you now because they're rioting, well, you know what? They're allowed to riot now.
Yeah.
We're not going to put them in jail. They released everybody in New York that was arrested from the riots.
Whenever Minneapolis, right? Whenever they disbanded or came out with that decision that they wanted to disband the police in that city, all of the police quit and they said, "You guys are on your own now.
Good luck."
Yeah. And I don't blame them.
And now it's going to hell.
Yep.
They're doing what I'm doing and what everybody who lives in a big city should be doing. Investigating every option to get the fuck out. Because the way all these governments are talking in these big cities is soon there will be no police, or there will be a radically different police that are very ineffective by the way they're talking.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying maybe something will change. I'm not saying it's definite. I'm saying it's what it looks like.
Yep.
It's going to be. They're painting a very bad picture of what the future is going to look like in these big cities.
It's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better because their ideas are probably not going to work.
My city is going to be set back like 40 years. It's going to be like how New York City was in the 70s, where there was just crime and shit everywhere. And nobody gave a fuck. Like any movie you saw from the 80s that always showed like a fucked up New York City, that's because that's what it looked like in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
That was before we fucking reformed the police. We rebuilt the whole fucking city, right?
Yep.
This is before all that shit happened.
Real life Gotham over there.
Yeah, it was. That was. But what's going to happen now is because they're getting rid of cops and all these, they're defunding police now. Mm-hmm. They're just going to set it back again, and everything's going to be a shithole. And I'm telling you now, me and look at the home listings in Minneapolis. Me and everybody with a fucking more than 2 brain cells is like, I'm getting the fuck out of here before shit gets real. Yeah. And I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow or it's going to be a switch, but you got to start fucking looking at your options.
Yeah,
because this is you don't want to be around.
Which is why I'm glad I don't live near, because I live right near Spartanburg, South Carolina. I just saw a news post or a post on Facebook or something. Right now, they're planning to do a peaceful protest on the 17th, which is in 4 days. So we're gonna see how that goes.
For the record, the one that I posted about on Twitter on the corner from me actually stayed peaceful. So I just want to be honest about that. Nobody got hurt. They went home when it got dark. Cool. Like I didn't have any problems. Do your thing. That's all I ask.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. But
do it peaceful and relax.
I want to see what happens. We might have an interesting podcast next week, depending on what goes down. Right?
He's just going to be podcasting from his building on fire.
So guys, look behind me. You'll see everything is burning down currently.
Black masks are going to be running behind him. He's going to be talking. Someone's just going to clock him with a brick.
You're going to see him take the computer, and they're going to be running with the webcam on it.
Defund the police! Defund the
police! Bro, I have never been more thankful in my life to not live in like a big city.
Yeah, I want out. Like, if you know me, you guys have known me for like what, 5 years at this point. You know, I've been running my mouth about getting out of the city for a long time.
Oh yeah,
It's like I respect it. I love the city. It created me. It shaped my personality and who I am.
Yep.
And the city has given me a lot through my life, but I can't stand it anymore.
Yep.
I don't like being in the city anymore. And this shit, when my own mayor is saying I think we should defund the police, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm doing everything in my power to head for the motherfucking hills.
Yep.
That's because whether he gets the support for what he wants to do or not, the point is, in my local government, that point of view exists, and it should not.
Yeah.
And if it does get enough steam, and they do get rid of the police, I don't. If you look, if you do nothing and you say I'm going to stay in this city, and you say no, let's see how it goes. Then what's going to happen is, if it does go south, you're going to be there when it does, and you're going to go, oh fuck, I got to run, and you're not going to have money in your pocket. You're not going to have nothing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You gotta get out before it goes bad.
I know I'm on Tim Pool's dick a lot. I bring him up a lot, but he made a video about this too. Cities might be over, and I'm kind of leaning in that direction right now.
Yeah.
Because if truckers are saying they don't want to do it, like the more and more cities start getting on board with the defund the police shit, eventually what's going to happen is, even if the cities don't go on fire right away, what's going to happen is truckers are not going to go there. Which means if you live in a city like me, you're not going to be able to go to the grocery store and get your bread, milk, and eggs because there's not going to be anything there because they won't go there.
Yep.
So
if you thought it was bad when Corona started, it's going to be way worse when truckers aren't delivering shit.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to get the one or two guys that want to make the extra money and go, all right, you know what? Because they'll pay more to the guys that want to do it.
Those trucks are going to get raided.
Oh yeah, they're going to If
there's no police.
They're going to get beat up. They're going to get all their shit stolen. The only groceries that are going to be in the store are the ones that are lucky enough to get there in one piece.
Yep. I would be very, very surprised if a truck supposed to deliver something in CHAZ area now, or driving through CHAZ, does not get picked up and have all of their goods stolen off of the truck.
I wouldn't be surprised if a trucker got killed. Like, bro, that's insane. And even if the trucks get to the grocery store, what makes you think they're going to pay for anything in the grocery store if they don't have any cops to be like, oh, God, this guy is not paying?
If they do get rid of the police, people are just going to fucking loot everything. They'll wait at the grocery store. They don't have to set up an ambush. They'll just wait because that's its destination. So they'll just steal everything.
5 o'clock, let's go get the bread that just came in.
Yeah, exactly. If you're going to get rid of your police, who's going to fucking stop that? And again, I'm not trying to sound like a fucking, we're all going to die tomorrow and the world's going to end tomorrow.
Yeah.
I honestly don't believe that's the case. But what I'm saying is, if you have a lot of people in government in these big cities like mine starting to say maybe we should get rid of the police, that's a sign that they're about to start making some bad decisions.
Yeah.
If you ask me. And I'd rather be out before the decisions are made.
Yeah. Yep.
Fuck living in a city. It's not going to work out.
Oh, what was I was going to say something. I fucking forgot. Shit. I hate it. Okay, somebody else talk. God damn it.
Yeah, I was looking at houses for sale. Like, when I mean bumblefuck New York, I mean like the middle of nowhere, just fields, nothing, right?
Good.
I found like an old house that's like 5 hours away from here. The house needs a lot of work. It's like a 150-year-old house, so it's like falling apart at this point. But the point is, you get the house and a bar next to it and like 5 acres of land for $60,000. I'm like, if it gets that bad, I'll buy it and fucking go. I'll fix it a little by little. I don't even give a fuck.
Yeah,
go with it. Yeah, the most you're gonna have to worry about is
you know what's great about this whole
give me 1 second.
Right behind Biscuit, you can see all the toilet paper rolls on the ground. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. I love that. I mean, like, if these cities just keep disbanding the stuff and people aren't able to get shit, like, it's just gonna lead to worse poverty in these cities, and then these cities are gonna end up becoming the hood or becoming the ghetto. You know?
They're already being the
entire city will be a ghetto.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying, because that's what New York was in the 70s.
Yeah.
Everything, it was no, like, now you have, anytime you have a city, any town, there's going to be a bad part of town. That's just the way it goes. You got the low income, crime goes up. That's the way it happens.
You know what the funniest thing is going to be? The richest people in that city are not going to have an issue. They're going to pay for private guards. They're going to pay for private security, and they're going to be chilling.
Especially here. I don't know about other cities. The rich people have already left my city. Once Corona started, they got the fuck out. And I know this as a fact because I'm friends with doctors and lawyers and stuff. My mom's doctor, he moved to Florida, and he doesn't know if he's coming back right now. She's talked to him several times because, he still does the virtual examinations for, like, your prescriptions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but he doesn't know if he's coming back. People are going to Connecticut. People are going down south. They're going Florida, anywhere but here. The rich people left months ago.
Yeah.
And what I found funny was Cuomo, the governor here, was one of the things that he said was that last year. I remember when the article came out, he was like, "God forbid if we lose the fucking rich."
Mm-hmm.
He was quoting, "God forbid if we lose the rich, because if we lose the rich, that's like 70% of our tax revenue comes from the rich alone. Mm-hmm. So if we lose them, we're done. Yep. Yeah. Now we've lost."
So now you can't pay your cops at all.
Exactly. That was step one in me saying shit might get shitty here soon.
Yeah.
And you're just making it worse.
And one big problem I have with like the movement that's causing all of this stuff to happen is them being like saying like basically there's a lot of people. It's not everybody, but a lot of people are just coming out saying all people that are white are racist. All people that are cops are racist. Like they're just they're doing what racists do. They're generalizing a group of people and putting a label on it, regardless of what individual people think.
That's why I don't like the Black Lives Matter movement.
Now, and that's not to say, and that's not to say that there aren't racists. And the main reason I brought this whole point up was because I wanted to mention a video I saw of this lady that went into a grocery store full of black people, started screaming at them that they were the N-word. I thought it was hilarious because after she started doing that, the security guard, they had a security guard at the store, right? Which I'd never seen before. He goes up and he's like, "You gotta leave. If you don't leave, I'm gonna detain you and I'm gonna call the cops and you're gonna be arrested." She's like, "I'm not leaving. All these," and then she's screaming the N-word and stuff at the dude, right? And he tackles her, puts her. He's trying to put her in cuffs, and she's like resisting really fucking hard. And she, after like 5 seconds of her resisting him trying to put the cuffs on her, she's like, "If you let me go, I will leave. If you let me go, I will leave. You know, I cannot be arrested."
You know what that reminds me of? The Asian guy with the rifle.
Yep.
You motherfucker! I'm sorry. Everyone's a pussy when they're confronted with somebody who's stronger than them or they have a gun.
Yep. Exactly. And
everyone's a big.
But it was just hilarious to me how quick she switched from being like, "I'm not leaving. All these people in here, blah blah blah," to, I'm sorry. I'll leave. And then her hands behind her back. This is an old meme.
This is an old meme that I seen circulating on Facebook like over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it still pops up every now and then, but I don't care because it's true. Everyone's a gangster until it's time to do gangster shit.
Yep.
That's a fact. Everyone thinks they're a tough guy until a fight breaks out.
Yep.
And then they just run for the hills or watch.
Except the actual tough guys that don't give a fuck.
Right. I'm not saying everybody's a pussy. What I'm saying is the pussies think they're tough guys.
No, I am saying everybody's a pussy. At a certain level, you hit that point where you're a pussy. You're not a pussy when you're breaking into the store and the owner's telling you to stop. You are a pussy when he pulls out the AR-15.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a level where eventually you're like, okay, oh my God, oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm leaving. I'm sorry.
I very highly doubt.
Put those Fritos back, motherfucker.
Like, if you've noticed, every store owner, there's hardly like any store owner videos of them actually shooting at people, right?
Yeah.
Because they get to the point where they pull the gun out and then the dude's done. He's ready to go. He's ready to leave.
Yeah.
These people in this movement don't want to die for what they're pushing for. Right?
No.
Yeah.
So it's just.
But you gotta understand something. The people who are robbing stores, that has nothing to do with the movement, anyways.
Oh yeah, no.
They just
doing it to get free
shit.
shit. Yeah.
They're just doing it to steal shit.
And they don't care about this stuff enough to die for it. So
and these things are happening in big cities where most people do not have guns because of the laws.
Yep.
Because it's very hard or impossible to get a gun. So they figure it's easy until they find the one store owner that went through the headache, the fucking 12-year headache that it is to get a license.
And then they get shot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why you live in the country, you get guns, and then you move to the city.
Bruh.
If anything.
And if, like, hey, on the down low, if you buy a gun, have you guys heard of the, like, this national registry they want for all guns, right?
Yeah.
It's, like, if you get a gun, I would recommend not registering it with the federal government, because with the way things are going,
if they decide to get rid of the Second Amendment and ban guns,
they know exactly how many you guns.
They know exactly where to come for your guns.
Yep.
That's true.
Yep. It's just.
But it's like the thing I'll say about that is you can at least get me on board with that as long as you don't make the laws retardedly tight. You know what I mean? Well, if you want to make it something like a driver's license where you just get a card and then I could just go in and be like, here's my license, and then buy my gun. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool with that.
People that say it's easy to buy a gun have never went through the process of buying a gun.
No.
Yeah, I know that.
You can barely have any mental illness. It's very strict on that. It's also like if you have any violent felony, can't do it. And you still have to go through
like
a background check.
One of the stories that people always quote is that guy in the military who shot his wife or whatever.
Yeah.
But the reason that didn't come up on his gun report is because it was in military court when he was brought up for beating his wife.
Yep.
When it's in military court, nobody else is allowed to have access to that. It gets sealed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that is an issue. Hold on one second. Someone came in again.
Okay. Yeah, no, but yo, what's up, KA? 3D print weaponry. It's only getting better and better. Yo, you can 3D print an AR-15.
You can 3D print in multiple metals now, which is quite interesting.
Yo, B, are you still here? Okay, he's not here. No, but with guns, don't register them with the federal government because then they're just gonna come and take them from you whenever they decide the moment is right. You know?
Yeah, it's I'll say we have a few unregistered guns, and I'm happy we do because if a federal agency comes you something came up, people are saying you're acting weird or something, blah blah blah, and it's happened before. These red flag laws.
Yep.
Where people are like, oh, this guy's, I think he's a threat. You need to detain him or take away his weapons, and they'll do that because they have red flag laws where you can prematurely say he's a threat.
Sorry to interrupt you, a funny thing. My mom just came in because she seen a meme on her Facebook feed.
Yeah.
That Henry Winkler died. You know the actor.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't die. False. And the reason I knew he didn't die is because everybody always says a celebrity died and they share the meme, try to get the hoax going.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I know that it was a meme is because it said he was a Trump supporter, and I know damn well he's not a Trump supporter.
But one thing with the guns, right, is a large majority of these mass shootings where the person has mental health issues, the media just decides to completely exclude the fact that this person got a gun from somewhere that wasn't a gun store.
Yeah.
They went and got one from a friend. Yeah. They did something like that. They didn't just. There was the only actual mass shooting I think of where the person had an actual registered gun that was registered to them was the Las Vegas shooter. That's the only one I can actually think of off the top of my head.
Well, even if they it's not with the what's it called, the Sandy Hook shooter.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't go buy a gun legit. He got I think it was his mom's or something.
Mm-hmm.
Got his mom's gun. It's not about stricter gun laws. It's about people owning guns being more
could be
responsible with them.
One thing that I think that could be a good gun I'm against gun control, but a good law towards that for those people requiring that you have a gun safe if you're gonna have a gun.
Yeah, that is
an appropriate one. Just to make sure that you have a good control over where your gun is, other people can't get access to it. You know?
Yeah.
That's why if you're getting a gun, I highly, highly encourage you to take multiple gun safety classes, and to at least attempt to be secure with your guns. Because I know people who just leave their guns in place. I'm like, why?
Or if you're gonna get a shotgun, just hang it up on your wall because nobody thinks the shotgun on the wall is real.
Yeah.
Right?
Stupid people. I understand. Stupid people definitely should not have guns because there's a lot of people who do stupid shit. I understand 100%. Where you got the dumbass who just leaves his gun loaded on the fucking coffee table.
Yeah.
So little Jimmy comes over and shoots himself in the eyeball.
Yeah.
You know how you have to take a class and all these different things for a concealed safety, a concealed gun license? I think you should have to do that for any gun.
Yeah.
I don't say make guns harder to get, but just make it to where people are more educated about what they are getting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
So look, I could go out. I don't
know about your state, but to get a driver's license here, you have to take a 5-hour class.
Yeah.
Before you can go take a driving test. I'm fine with that for guns. Just to outline basic shit.
Yeah.
For the morons in the room, never aiming at a person you're not intending to kill.
And never look down the barrel when it's loaded.
Yeah. I get it. It's fine.
I don't want to go too deep into detail, but I have somebody personally in my family that had left their gun on a closet on a low shelf, and their less than 2-year-old child got a hold of it and shot themselves. They survived.
Yeah.
Perfect. It was okay. They survived, luckily. But still, you gotta make sure you know that nobody else is gonna be able to get to that.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, with my family, all the guns are in the safe, or they're in a keypad lockbox.
Yeah.
Where if you need one, you can get to it as long as you know the code. But if you're just screwing around, or if someone's in your house, they can't get to it because it's in a safe.
Yeah. That's why I always try to tell these anti-gun people. Mm-hmm. I understand you don't want crazy violent people having access to guns. I understand that because that's a very dangerous concept, and that ends up with people needlessly dying. I understand.
Yeah.
But you got to understand that the sane, law-abiding people in this world in this country should be able to have a gun in the event that something bad happens.
Yep.
Somebody breaks in or riots are happening. It's not It's not feasible to say everybody has to hand in their guns. You're only allowed to have, like, Joe Biden said you should only have a double-barrel shotgun. Okay.
No, that's stupid.
When there's 90 crazed rioters going into a guy's deli, or only him in the deli, a double-barrel shotgun is going to stop them all?
No, you want at least like a high round capacity pistol or a rifle.
Something.
Yeah. I think now is a good time because we've been going for just about an hour, a little bit over, to switch over to end on a positive note, talk about the PS5 reveal. You know?
What's PS5? You talking about the modem, the router? Like,
The
what is
modem.
this?
Did you guys see the... Jimmy actually sent it to me. Let me see if
I don't know if I can pull this onto my camera, but my router looks more like an Xbox than it does a PS4.
Is it just a massive box?
Look, wait. I'm gonna point the camera.
I'm gonna put this in the group chat.
Do you see it?
It's just a box. It's just a massive box.
It's just a box. You know?
What's in the box?
So, like,
that was my favorite of the PS5 games. Look at the group chat.
That's great.
Yeah.
Private code.
Yeah, but no, like, so the PS5, I think personally, I love the design of it. I know a lot of people are trash on it. I love the design.
So me and Jimmy, you guys know Jimmy overnight. We were in. I think you guys were at work. I know Deej was at work.
I was watching it at work.
Jim actually, I called up Jim. He was bringing his work truck back to work and then shooting home. He works like a half an hour away from home.
Yeah.
So he was shooting home to get home by the time it started. So we were watching it in Discord. And when, first of all, they didn't show it to the very end of the stream, and we kept bitching that they weren't showing it.
Yeah.
But when they finally showed it, both of our reactions were like, "Huh, that's actually pretty cool." And I'm not even joking. Like, we looked at it, and that's what we said. Like, that's pretty cool looking. I want one of those.
It looks like. Have you seen the picture of it on its side?
Yeah.
So, like, it looked. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up a picture of it just so we have one. All right, Jamie, do it.
The duck.
Well, just a normal PS5.
PS5. Try and get the picture of it on its side because I think it looks better on its side.
So that happened, and we had that conversation. We were like, this looks way better than the fucking fridge-looking Xbox or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then I went on Twitter, and everyone was like, "Yo, that shit looks like shit." It's like, bro, because they tried something different, you don't like it?
It's a fine design. It's a fine design. I'm just not a fan of the white. If they sold it in black, I'd be much happier. White gets way too dirty.
Yeah, I've always liked the way looking better. You're right, but I like the way they look when they're clean. Like, I loved my Wii. I thought it was one of the sleekest designs ever.
If they're clean, they look nice, but they're almost never clean as soon as you get it.
That's true.
Here's the thing between the Xbox and the PS5 for me. The PS5 looks like a video game console. Like, the
Xbox looks like a trash bin.
The Xbox One doesn't look like. That's not something I want to set up and display on my entertainment stand. You know.
Yep.
1 second. KA said a very nice quote. An armed society is a polite society.
Yep.
Brilliant, because everyone's armed. No one's gonna try shit with anybody else.
If I think you have a gun, I'm not gonna fuck with you. I mean, I'm the type of guy who I'm not gonna fuck with you if you don't fuck with me anyways.
Yeah.
But like, you gotta look at it from a violent person's perspective. If they think everybody in that building has a gun, they're not gonna go in and start to cause shit because they're gonna get killed.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I just wanted to point that out real quick. That was a good.
It's like, you ever hear that story about the guy who went to rob a store,
and you walked in the wrong one?
Yeah, there was a jewelry store next to a gun store. Yeah, he accidentally walked into the gun store, and they all shot him, and he died. They shot him like 1,000,000 times. The customers and the owner of the shop, they all tried to shoot.
Yep. I was like,
can I just bring up what fucking dumbass decided to rob the jewelry store that's next to the gun store?
Yeah.
What?
They'll never run outside and come and get me.
Oh, man.
Like, he walked in. Could you imagine his thought process in those last few seconds? Like,
he walked in and
he goes, "Give me the money," and then he hears all the guns cock, and he goes, "Fuck."
I would have walked in like as soon as you heard, I'm like, "I'm sorry.
The meme of Grandpa Simpson coming in and then leaving, like in age.
Oh yeah,
yep. So
never mind.
Back to the PS5. I just want to say how the reveal started with the GTA logo popping up.
Bro,
oh my god.
So when me and Jim were in the call, we were in the call when it was still doing like the countdown to the stream start, right? And Jim goes, "Yo, they better show GTA 6 today, right?" Because we've been watching a new GTA. GTA 5 came out in like 2012 now. It's old now.
Yeah.
2013. It's old now. So he's like, "Yo, it's time. We need GTA 6, right?" The stream starts and the Rockstar logo pops up, right? Mm-hmm. And I audibly go into my mic. I went, "Whoa!" And then it showed like the footage from GTA 5, and Jimmy went, "Fuck!"
Oh, he quiet.
I did it. That's good. But Jim went, "Fuck these motherfuckers," right?
Yeah.
You guys can.
Yeah, we can.
We got so fucking pissed, dude.
Yeah, no.
And,
like,
and then I went to Twitter, and everybody got mad.
Yeah, everybody was like, "Oh, we thought it was gonna be GTA 6."
Yep.
So that was a little bit of a letdown, but it's cool that it's becoming free for PS5
You know,
players.
really quick, Kill makes a good point. Both the new consoles kind of look like the 1001 plug-and plays you get in CVS.
Yep.
They kind of do give that vibe off a little bit. I'll give you that.
But
Even I don't hate the PS5 design, but go ahead.
But yeah. So like everybody was bad about that but it is still kind of cool that GTA Online is going to be free for all PS5 players.
That's what I was saying. Anything you can offer for free, I think, is cool because you used to have for those of you youngins, we used to have this concept called packing games when the console came out.
Yeah.
So for an example, when I bought my Super Nintendo, it came in the box with a copy of Super Mario World.
Yeah.
Not separate, not a coupon or something. It was in the box with the Super Nintendo. Right? They stopped doing that around when the PS3 and 360 came out, right?
Yeah. So when the PS3 came out, right, there was just no games for it whenever it first came out.
Yeah.
Now
it was
with then when the PS4 came out, they got a little bit. They had some launch titles, Killzone. They had
still nothing packed in. You usually don't get those pack-in bundles until the next holiday.
Yeah, the packed in is like whenever a big game comes out, they'll do a bundle with it where you have to buy the console and it comes with the game, but it's still more expensive.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But then
I think it's really cool that at least they're trying, because like when you buy a new console, let's be honest, there's not going to be a million games to play anyways.
Yeah,
it's cool that even if you don't like GTA that much, and personally, I'd rather play my PC version of GTA 5 where I can mod my ass off and go on 5M, play with all crazy mods, right, online. Yeah. I'd rather do that. But at least when I go to buy my PS5, if nothing else, I have something that's already there that's free that I can just play.
Yeah,
and
you know what I mean?
Like with the like the pack-in deal, right? So like back then you used to get a game with it, so you have something with it versus just getting the console, right?
Right. You get the box, and you don't have to sit there looking for another game.
When the PS5 comes out, you're gonna get the PS5 regardless of you buying any games with it. You can take it home, set it down, play GTA. Like that's cool to me that you don't have to pay anything extra.
That's what I said.
And personally myself, I know Biscuit's gonna get the disc version because he loves his discs. I'm gonna be personally getting it's gonna be less expensive, I believe, for the digital version. I'm gonna get the digital version simply because I download all my games anyways. So I'm glad they gave us that alternative as well, where the Xbox Series X you're only getting the one edition, right?
I heard a really funny on Twitter that a really funny like reason why they think that Sony is offering the discless one.
Yeah.
And that's just to make sure that they have a version of their console that can that undercut the Xbox.
Yep.
Because they know the disc one is going to be more expensive than the Xbox.
Well, here's the thing. I think one of the reasons they're not revealing their price is waiting for the Xbox to reveal their price so they can be like, wait a second, what can we do?
But you got to imagine they're not going to sell the console at a loss.
I feel like that Xbox is going to come out at $600, right?
I would hope not.
That's what I'm assuming the Xbox is going to come out at.
I really don't want to pay $600. Because if consoles are getting that high, that's almost a PC. That's halfway to a good PC.
Think about it. The PS3 was $600 when it came out originally.
Really?
Bullshit. That's why nobody bought it.
And nobody bought it. Yeah. So what I'm thinking right now is about to happen is either they're going to release.
I remember. I'm sorry. It just popped into my when the PS3, the 360 had I think like a whole year on the PS3. Right? They delayed it a couple times. I remember during that year. I don't even think I had a 360 yet. At that point. No, I didn't. I was in GameStop buying a used game. My grandfather drove me.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was buying, but I was just buying a used PS2 game, right? And I seen the sign behind the counter for like PS3 pre-orders and the price and everything.
Yeah.
And I went to my grandfather. I was like, look at the new PlayStation coming out. He goes, does that say $600? I went, yeah. He went, ha! And walked the fuck out of the store.
Like, listen, here's how I think the price breakdowns are either going to happen, right? I think... Yeah. Personally, I think the Xbox is going to come out with their price first. It's going to be $600, right? Because of the power that they have now. They're on the level of like a fucking good PC, like a good PC. Right?
I don't know about top of the line PC,
tracing.
But
they're getting ray tracing and shit, right? They're getting a good PC. So I think they're going to come out with the Xbox at $600. PlayStation's going to see that. They're going to be like, oh, we got this. They're going to release their digital only version at $500, and then they're going to release their disc version at either $650 or $700. Honestly, that's what I think's going to happen.
What Kill said, the PS3 was $600 because it had a PS2 in it. Exactly. That's why they took out backwards compatibility to make it cheaper.
Yep.
Which even back then it pissed me off. It's like you couldn't make a digital emulator.
Yep.
For the shit, you had to actually put in the GPU and processor from the PS2. That shit always made me mad.
Yep.
Always made me mad.
Here's the thing.
Like you're a billion-dollar company. Pay 2 guys to write a program.
You know how much it would cost for them to put a PS2 emulator back into a PS5 or whatever? Nothing.
Well, you could probably buy the code for PCSX2 for nothing from these guys.
Yeah, right.
If you wanted to. So, I don't know if they would sell it to something, but
even PCSX2 or whatever, right? Even that right there is like kind of fidgety, you know? Like I can't play Ratchet and Clank on it.
Yeah, it's not perfect. Yeah.
So, but like they could definitely put a PS2 into a PS5 now and at almost no extra cost.
You mean physically, or are you just talking about an emulator?
Physically. I don't think it would cost them very much because how much does a PS2?
I mean, you get a PS2 for like what, $70? I don't know about to make, but I know you can buy one on eBay for like $70.
Now, if they come out and they say our PS5 is going to be able to play all PS2, PS3, PS4, and PS5 games, that shit is I'm going for it. I don't care what the fucking price is.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm interested in the most.
Yeah,
you know,
if it has multiple backward compatibility with different.
I just see a listing on eBay.
Yeah.
For a PS2 with how many games? This is a lot of fun.
Max, you know what you could end up doing as well? Because I know you're saying you like the black version. You would like it in black better.
Oh, yeah, choice of 2
I'm
games.
sure they'll sell skins for it.
Hopefully. I already have a skin on my PS4.
Yeah. It's a PS2 console with 5 games.
Yep.
They're like, they randomly pick them out of a bag or something. There's a bunch of games.
Yeah.
$60.
Yeah, see? So like it would cost them almost nothing to just put in a new PS2 in there.
I don't see it being cheap to put in PS2, 3, and 4 hardware, though.
No, yeah, PS3 is where the price would go up again.
Yeah,
I think.
I would hope that there's some kind of emulator. Either way, backwards compatible is super important to me. Not as important on Xbox stuff, even though it is. PS2 especially because I have so many of my PS2
Battlefront 2.
One of the more like understated things about the PS5. What do you guys think about the controller? Because I think that thing looks clean.
It's getting too close to an Xbox for me.
Yeah,
I like the PS3.
Honest, this is my favorite controller ever made. This PS4 controller.
Yeah.
And I like it because it's a little bit different than the Xbox controller. Yep. Now it's very similar. It looks like you ever see the you can get like a Logitech PS4 controller. They look exactly like that. They make them look more like Xbox controllers, right? But I mean, if it feels good, whatever. I don't think I'm gonna like it more than this. I love this fucking thing.
Yeah, the DualShock 4 is ridiculously comfortable.
I don't think it's gonna replace this controller as my favorite, but maybe I'm wrong.
That'd be great.
We'll see.
I have like almost no possibility of it ever happening, but. If they would allow you if their PS4 is has the exact same button layout as a PS5 controller, if you could just use a PS4 controller instead.
I doubt it.
I think you can use a PS4 controller on the PS3.
Yeah, you can.
You can't use a PS3 controller on the PS4.
Yeah, because it doesn't have a touchpad.
Yeah.
But if that has a touchpad and it doesn't have any additional buttons, if you could use a PS4 on the PS5, I'd be so happy.
Yeah.
You got a PS4 controller too. Aren't they the best? Like they're so fucking comfortable. I don't know what it is. They made the grips I think just long enough finally. Like the PS3 controller always bothered me because it felt a little bit small.
Yeah.
Because all it was a PS2 controller without the wire.
Yep.
And I don't know why that made it feel so much lighter and cheaper for some reason. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But they got a perfect balance with this controller. They made it longer and just a little bit heavier to the point where it feels perfect.
Yeah.
So I actually feel the new one.
What do you guys think about the whole the haptic feedback thing? Because I thought that was something cool whenever I had a Switch at first.
That's just yeah, but it's not. You don't really get that much use out of it.
I think the cool thing about it for me at least is that it's not just rumbling. You know, it has like it can do different levels. Whenever your controller rumbles, it just rumbles.
I'll tell you this. You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna get one of those like random, fucking like free apps on the PS5 store. That it's like some random dumb game that shows off that like HD vibration shit.
Yeah.
And then every game that comes out is just going to be regular vibration.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen. It's the same difference as how when we got the touchpad with the PS4, it's mostly unused. Basically, it's just a button to bring up your map in games.
Another thing with the PS5 controller is they're saying they can increase the tension whenever you're pulling the analog sticks on it, right?
That feels like that's just another thing to break.
Like these, yeah. So whenever you're pulling these, they can increase or decrease that tension on it. I think that'll be really cool for games like a Lara Croft, where you have the fucking bow and arrow, and you can feel it pulling tighter and tighter as you pull it down.
I would hope that they don't have that actually, because that's going to make the controller too expensive. Because you got to put a cog in there, a little tiny.
Yep.
These controllers, and then when it breaks, you're going to have to spend $200 on a fucking controller. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, they already said that that's going to be in there. But again, hopefully you don't have to get a PS5 and you can use a PS4.
Here's a good example. When the PS4 came out, do you guys remember? My controller had this issue too, where the thumbsticks wore unusually fast.
Yep.
Oh,
6 months later, one of my thumbsticks was worn. After I bought a day one PS4. 6 months later, my thumbstick was worn.
Yeah, no, my thumbstick is ripped, but I still use it.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're gonna have random issues like that pop up with the new controller, and they're gonna be that expensive because of all the shit they put in it, like I'd rather not have all the shit.
Yeah.
They should offer like different levels. Like if you want that crap, you can pay the extra few bucks for it.
Yeah.
If you don't, you can have a base model that doesn't have that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, I hope that the PS4 controllers, because they are virtually the same. They have the touchpad, they have this option button, the share button. They still have the home button. They have the same exact buttons. I'm hoping that I can take this. It runs on fucking Bluetooth, right? Straight into the thing. I'm hoping I can take this if I want to use it on my PS4 or PS5 and just use it, right?
Yeah,
that'd be
amazing.
amazing.
Right, if you can, this is what I'm using to whip people's asses in UFC 4.
Yep.
So.
Yo, that's what I'm hoping. They have the EA
Thursday. This coming Thursday.
I'm really. They announced Madden is coming in a couple of days.
I wonder if they've announced any other.
16th. The 16th is when Madden comes. So 3 days.
Also, they're not going to talk about it on Thursday?
Huh?
They're not going to talk about it on Thursday?
No, they're talking about it on the 16th. Yep.
Oh, okay, that's weird.
So yeah,
why
it is
have
a
an
little bit
EA
weird.
event? No,
well, I guess
whatever.
the EA event might have already been filled because they were originally planning to do Madden on the 1st.
Or
right?
maybe it was already filmed and they had more. Yeah.
And then they were like, "There's more important things going on." So.
yeah. You know.
So.
But yeah, I'm really hoping for UFC 4.
Yeah, UFC
really,
4 is
really
the big one I'm hoping for, and I'm hoping they show it like PS5 graphics, and the shit looks amazing.
I was talking to Jimmy, and he's like, "Yo, I just want to beat people's asses at 60 frames per second." I was like,
Holy crap.
I want fights. I want fights that go like to the 4th, 5th round, right? I want them to have blood on the ground like they do in the real UFC fights. You know?
Yeah.
Deej. I just looked it up. Sackboy.
Yep.
Bro.
Yeah, you didn't see that?
Bro.
No, you know what I'm most excited for? Bug snacks. You see how weird that shit was?
That shit looks like an acid trip, dude.
Yo, and then they came out, dude, the thing turned into a fucking monster. Like, is it going to be a horror game or something? Is it going to be like a trick horror game?
PS4 controller is just a PS3 controller with a laptop mouse, but kind of, but like it's ergonomically, it's a little bit different. Like I said, because of the handles and the triggers are a little bit different. It's minutely different, but it was changes that the other one needed.
Yeah, the small difference made it better, much better.
One of my biggest gripes with the PS3 controller was if you look at a PS4 controller at the trigger, you can see how it's like indented inward. The PS3 had it going outward. So
it was the same. It was the same too as the PS2.
It's like it's a tiny little thing, but it feels so much better whenever your fingers fit in that slot perfectly.
Yeah. So it was basically changes that the updates that they needed from the PS3 controller. But going back to the games announced, did you guys see that Resident Evil 8 trailer?
Oh my god, dude, it looks
so
good.
When I was watching the stream, I had no idea that was Resident Evil.
Yeah.
As we were watching it, I'm going to gym. I'm like, you know what? This is selling me. This is a cool fucking setting.
It showed
Village.
A cool horror. Yeah, it said Village, and I was like, oh, that's a cool name. And then it fucking popped in the 8, and I was like, oh.
It's Resident Evil. And they showed Chris.
Yep.
So I'm assuming the girl, because the
Chris better punch a boulder. That's all I'm saying.
The character that you're viewing Chris from is apparently Ethan from Resident Evil 7.
Yep.
And he kills a woman on the ground. I'm assuming that's supposed to be Mia, his wife from 7.
Might be.
I thought Mia died in 7, at least in the ending I got. Maybe that's not the ending they're using.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they have multiple endings. Yeah.
So now I know that the canon is in Resident Evil 7, Mia survives just to get her face blown off by Chris.
So, but with Resident Evil 8, I've seen a lot of people being like, "This doesn't belong in it. It's werewolves. What the fuck? Vampires? What?" Like,
did you see what I wrote on Twitter?
No.
I retweeted that. Someone goes, "For everybody saying that vampires don't belong in Resident Evil, we had a literal dinosaur in Resident Evil 6."
Yep.
So
that's all that.
I retweeted it. I was like, first of all, I don't know what you're talking about. Resident Evil 6 never happened. I remember playing 5 and then 7 came out. So I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but like, I think that the setting looks really fucking cool. I think that it looked like it had witches in it as well as vampires and werewolves.
It looks like they're trying to evoke that Resident Evil 4 feel, because Resident Evil 4 was like that random European village, right? It was supposed to be in Spain.
Yeah, so I think that
which makes sense, because when that poll came out, everybody said that they wanted a Resident Evil 4 remake. Why you crackheads said that, I will never understand. But everybody said that, so I guess they were like, all right, here's what we can do.
I think that Resident Evil 8 is going to be, it's going to have a similar gameplay feel to Resident Evil 7, but it's going to have that similar, like, aesthetic and, like, ambiance that Resident Evil 4 had.
Yeah, it feels like they're trying to combine that, like, here's what I hope. They're trying to combine Resident Evil 7's gameplay, that really slow, like, sneaking around kind of thing, and, ammo conservation, with the setting of Resident Evil 4. That's what it kind of felt like. I think
Resident Evil 7 had, like, not considering the remake of, like, 2 and stuff, had some of the best gameplay out of any of the Resident Evil games. but had
it
one of
really
the
brought
weaker
Resident Evil back
stories,
for me.
right?
Yeah, I loved 7. Like a lot of people, apparently, from what I hear, didn't really like 7 that much.
They didn't like the monsters as a big thing in it because they were kind of just these weird what are they called, molds?
I had an issue with the monsters too. If you go back and watch, that stream is like what 3 years old, 4 years old at this point. But if you go back and watch it, I had the same complaint.
I've played it in VR too, so I'm hoping we get a PSVR 2, and one of the like launch things for it is Resident Evil 8 in it, because that would be fucking sick.
That'd be cool. But yeah, I remember saying the same thing. I was like, this is why we need zombies back. I'm like,
yep.
This is the way this is set up is perfect for zombies. I don't know why you had to make these mold dudes.
Yeah.
I like the final boss and everything and the story of where the mold came from. When you look at it as a whole, I liked it.
And then they showed fucking Chris Redfield, and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah. So I'm glad they brought him back the way he was.
Yeah. So did you see that article floating around that says, I hope Chris is okay? Because they like showed how he looked in Resident Evil 5 where he was just Jack Chuck Norris.
Yep.
And now he's like a fucking long-haired alcoholic.
Yep.
Which I think happens in, was that Resident Evil 6? I'm trying to remember which game it was, or it was one of the movies. He actually becomes like an alcoholic. He gets amnesia and becomes an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And he's just like living in some random place in Europe until somebody comes and finds him.
So, I mean, I think the Resident Evil 8 is gonna be a good game. I think that it's gonna be one of the better games that comes out. Was it coming out as a launch title or the holiday 2020?
I think it's 2021.
Okay.
Naturally, yeah. But I'm gonna play.
Moving on to the next game that was showcased Spider-Man. I fucking am so hyped for that shit.
Do you remember when I played the other Spider-Man? I was like, this whole game was to set up a Miles Morales game. I fucking called it. Here's the thing. I think what I think is gonna happen, because nobody knows where the story is going or anything. All they showed was a little bit of gameplay clips and some like fucking enemies that you don't know anything about. Yeah,
I think
just like
this
random
game is
henchmen.
Gonna be. I think the way the enemies were purple and shit. I think we're gonna fight what's his fucking name? His uncle that became the fucking purple dude with the blades. What was his fucking name? He rode the motorcycle. Shit.
The dude who died in the movie.
Yeah. What's his fucking name?
I forgot his fucking name. You might be right. Yeah, you're right about that.
I think that's his name.
Yeah.
But I think that this game is taking place after what's going to be Spider-Man 2, like the big one, right? Where you play.
So you think they're gonna? So hold on. You think they're gonna release Miles Morales and then they're gonna do Spider-Man 2?
I think they're gonna do like a basically like a pre-sequel, kind of how Borderlands did it, where they released the third, like the second game,
that'd be cool.
And then they released it in between.
The only thing I ask is, and I've said this when I played the first one, is if you're gonna do Miles Morales, please don't kill Peter.
Yeah, see,
because every story that involves him starts with Peter getting murdered or some bullshit.
See,
just leave him alone.
I think it's either going to be that, where it's going to have him doing that, and there's not going to talk about Peter, or Peter's going to be away on vacation or something, you know?
Yeah.
See, another way they could do it is this is directly after the first game, and Peter went to Europe to go find Harry, and he's not going to find him, right?
Right.
And then he comes back, and then it's the Peter versus symbiote Harry, because Harry was in the tube with the symbiote.
Yeah,
That's one thing that could really happen in that game, which I think would be really cool.
That would be cool. I want Carnage has to be in a game too. Venom 2 next year though, so I'll be able to at least see him in movies.
Yeah.
But
I thought the web swinging inspired, and in the trailer where they had Miles swinging around a corner with two hands on the web, I think that looked really good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Well, the controls were really good in the first game anyway. Yeah. I was not worried about any of that stuff.
I wonder if they're going to make it more physics-based than it was in the last one, because the last one was kind of animation-based.
Understand this is a huge ask from a console game, but can we please have Spider-Man at 60 frames per second?
Yep.
Fucking please! That frame rate hurt my eyes.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're going to be I'm pretty sure you're going to like that game a lot for one big reason. It's New York in the winter.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything winter, Biscuit loves.
Yes. Yeah. It's New York. It's snowy. I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah. So moving on, that Oddworld game.
Oddworld.
Now I know
that one surprised me as an announcement. I didn't know they were making another game starring Abe, because Oddworld has done so much stuff since the original two Abe games. Mm-hmm. Stranger's Wrath. They've done and they re-released Stranger's Wrath on Switch a couple of years ago, digitally. I don't think there's a physical version. But they've done a lot of things. I didn't think they would go back to like an old school 2D puzzle platformer kind of thing. Yeah.
I never thought they'd go back to it. And when I seen this fucking trailer, bro, I love the original two games so much. Like that, you don't understand how much. I know you guys are younger than me.
I played the remake of Abe's Odyssey that came out.
And did you like it?
I loved it, dude. I played one of them. I don't remember which one it was, but I played it on PS2.
Yeah, I still have a PS1 disc of the original Abe's Odyssey.
Yeah.
And you played the remake. Dude, they were so good. They're so much fun.
It is one of like the best 2D like platforming games.
Yeah, the art is so unique. Just the way the world is set up and the puzzles you have to solve. Yeah. There was the first time in my life when I played the original game that I played a puzzle platformer.
Yeah.
Because you constantly have to know where you're going and when you're pressing buttons. It's so much fun, dude.
Yeah, it's a good game. I highly recommend it to anybody that's never played.
Like, if you looked in the trailer for the new one, there's a scene where like he was rescuing like 10 or 20 of his people, and then the spaceship just comes in and blows them all into fucking bits.
Yep.
Do you know how frustrating that is when you finally get the sequence of events right and they're all about to go through the portal and then they all fucking explode?
Yep.
Oh, dude.
So I'm very excited for that one. Going on to I got to talk about my favorite game of the announcement. You guys know what it is. It's fucking Ratchet and Clank. I am so fucking. I tweeted out like an hour before the fucking stream happened. Somebody put out, was like, "Yo, please do this, Sony," and it was a picture of the old Ratchet and Clank. I was like, if fucking Sony says they're gonna push out a new Ratchet and Clank game, like a brand new story, right? I will literally shit myself, and I did. It was fucking insane. It looked so good. They showed like gameplay bits. They even showed an extended gameplay part after the thing where they showed. Oh my god, it looks so amazing. I'm so excited for that fucking game.
It looks pretty cool. And grappling like the rips and stuff.
Yeah, so I think it takes really good advantage of the PS5 because they're talking about no load times and shit like that because of their custom SSD, right?
Yeah.
I think it takes good advantage of that. You switching world to world using the rifts versus getting in a ship and hopping and flying. You know.
Yep.
So I'm very excited to see who they use as the main villain in that story as well. Because it's not always Dr. Nefarious. I did hear them mention him, so he may be.
Yeah, I heard them mention there as well. Yeah. Fucking So one of the things that pissed me off actually about the reveal, well, it didn't piss me off too much. So a lot of people on Twitter were let me get closer to my mic because it sounded like shit. A lot of people on Twitter were talking about a rumor that a new Silent Hill might be announced during this thing because last year there was a heavy rumor that Sony was personally financing a Silent Hill game, meaning they either outright purchased Silent Hill from Konami, or they at least got the rights to go on their own and make a game.
Yeah,
and they were spending big money on getting this whole thing together, and they were supposedly going to put Kojima on it so he can make the game he was supposed to make before he left. So this rumor's been swirling around for a while, and I seen a few people the day before talking about how Silent Hill might pop up, and it didn't. And like anybody who liked Silent Hill on Twitter was Silent Hill started trending. That's how mad people were. They were, yo, how could you not fucking announce this? It's like, bro, you know how Konami works. The only thing that they've done with Silent Hill, which I admit is kind of cool, is they licensed it out to the Dead by Daylight guys.
Yeah.
So Pyramid Head and Heather are in that game. I still need to go fucking try that. Konami doesn't care about actually making games anymore.
Yeah.
They want quick, easy money.
Speaking of with the PS5 reveal and what was I gonna fucking say? I hate myself so much. Shit.
Oh, shit. I dropped my pen.
God damn it! What the fuck is wrong with me, dude? Today I'm tired.
What?
You want everything? Or just one?
Yeah, I've been tired. I got a lot of shit going.
Me and Max are gonna have a rough time in Rocket League later.
What other games? They talked about Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo. Oh wait, I remember what I was gonna talk about. I'm cutting you off. NBA. So they showed NBA 2K, and it was in game. It was rendered. The dude with sweat. Here's my problem with what they showed though. They showed the one dude with all the fucking sweat on him. They do it every year to add more sweat to the players. They only showed one dude. Imagine like how much harder it is gonna be render that shit whenever you have 12 guys on the court.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. They don't give a damn about Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. Konami. Konami doesn't give a fuck about anything. They just give a fuck about gambling because that's easy money now in Japan. So yeah, you're not gonna get good Konami stuff. I don't think ever again until they go bankrupt and sell their shit off. They won't even sell their properties because they can make easy money off licensing.
Yep.
So
yeah, I think the NBA. The one thing that got me excited about NBA is it got me a little bit more excited for Madden coming out because Madden is claiming that a lot of the gameplay elements are going to change. So like whenever you're running with your halfback, it's going to feel a lot different than it feels now, where it's kind of like
Madden never really feels different. Let's be honest right now.
Well, but here's the thing: they're saying they're making it a lot more user based and a lot less like getting an animation on a juke. You know?
Yeah.
So one way they could do that is if you're playing as the defender coming down, right? Maybe you could see the way he's turned and the angle he's coming at you at, and then if you juke a specific like direction with the stick, not just left, right, up, and down, but like actually like diagonal at an angle, you'll juke a different kind of way. And it'll make them miss if they're coming at the right angle, you know? It could be. I feel like that's something that they could do a lot, and they're wanting to add because you know how they did Face of the Franchise, where you can basically go through a franchise with a creative player with a game face and everything.
Yeah.
They're saying they're going to add a lot more positions to that, and if they're adding more positions, so like say they add a running back position instead of just the quarterback.
Yeah.
If they add a running back position, they're going to have to add more gameplay elements to keep that running back position fun, to where you're not just pushing the left stick up to run towards the end zone, you know?
Yeah.
And same with like receivers. They're going to have to add gameplay elements if you're playing as a receiver, where you actually have to try and beat your defensive back that's guarding you.
Yeah. Just don't blow it like FIFA did. FIFA's gone
out of the
I was saying, somebody was talking about, I forget what they was. Somebody was talking about FIFA on Twitter. I was like, listen, bro, this year I went to PEZ, and I don't think I will ever look back.
Yeah.
It's fucking fun.
The last good FIFA I think I played was like probably 17 that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
That's about it.
The last FIFA I enjoyed was probably like, let's see, FIFA 12. The first one I got on PS4, which is probably FIFA 12, right?
The one that I played the most and actually enjoyed, because I didn't play a ton of FIFA games, but FIFA 15 I played with Max back on the PS3 when it came out. It was right between the PS3 PS4 transition phase.
Yeah.
And it was the last one they were releasing on the PS3. I actually really enjoyed that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I got my PS4, I bought FIFA that year and Battlefield 4.
Yep.
I know I gave EA all my money that year, whatever. But that was the last FIFA I liked. I played that FIFA nonstop until the next one came out. And after that, FIFA started pissing me off.
FIFA 15, FIFA 16 was good. FIFA 17 was the last one I actually enjoyed. 18, I passed. I wish I never bought them at all.
Speaking of announcements at the PS5 reveal, what did you guys think of Hitman? Hitman 3 coming out.
I saw that.
Allegedly the finale to the trilogy, so I don't know what they're going to do with the franchise next.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's kind of good that they're switching it up again, because it kind of like you can only have so many games that are the same kind of gameplay elements, and then you need to switch it, which is what they've done like with their first set of games that came out.
A lot of people didn't like Absolution because there was too much story elements.
Exactly. I'm just hoping they don't do that again.
Right. Like, so here's the thing. Like, everybody, and I always point to Hitman 2 as a shining example of how to do a Hitman game.
Yeah.
Where it had a story. It had a big story that you could follow along, but while doing the missions that give you the freedom to execute however you want.
So Hitman 2, the newer one, not the old one, right?
No, I'm talking about the original Hitman 2.
I'm talking about the newer one.
Okay.
So the newer one, I've been playing it here and there because I got it for free through Humble Monthly or whatever, right?
Yep. It's really good. I played the demo. They're really good.
So here's the thing I love about it. I can go into that game. Buy it. I can skip all the fucking cutscenes and just go into a level and have fun. You know?
Yeah.
That's
the great part about those games.
Now, if I want the story, I can watch the cutscene, see what's going on, understand each level, and keep doing each level. But I can go into one level. I can spend 3-4 hours fucking setting up, killing these people, and then just have it go. Right?
Yep.
And that is really, really satisfying in that game.
Again, like that was always my favorite part about like when I would play Hitman 2. It's like you spend so much time on like you let yourself die a bunch of times just to see how certain things play out. Like if I walk this way, how long will it take for this guy to realize I'm not a fucking mailman or whatever, right? Like that was my favorite part, just figuring out what works and what doesn't. And then when you figure out things that work, you string it all together.
Speaking of figuring out things that work and then stringing it all together, Deathloop looks fucking cool.
It does look kind of cool. Didn't they announce that either last E3 or the E3 before?
So yeah, they did, and it's made by Bethesda. It's the same people. It looks like Dishonored almost, like similar gameplay style. But I like the way that you can just fucking do and fucking shoot people out the window. It looks really fun to me. I actually
have to see the game. I have to see the game in not a trailer setting because they're making it way too flashy for me to actually judge.
I feel like it's gonna be kind of like a Super Hot. If you've ever played Super Hot, where you got the levels and then if you die you restart. I feel like it's gonna be like that. And you got to figure out exactly what path you got to take, and there's gonna be speed runs of it and stuff. I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, like I said, it looks cool, but I can't actually say it looks enjoyable. You know, it's gonna be good until I see gameplay.
They had some gameplay like
but in those kind of trailers, it's really hard to tell.
Yeah,
because it's all edited up
and stuff. They added contrast or whatever.
Yeah, so you don't know what it actually looks like how it runs. What happened, Max?
It's very flashy. I just watched part of the trailer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Super flashy.
It looks really fun though, and I'm hoping it plays the way they showed it in the trailer. You know, I hope it has some fucking metal music playing while I'm running around throwing people out of windows. Like it better.
As fun as Rainbow Six Siege is, Ubisoft, like they're like infamous for a lot. Not Bethesda. I know Bethesda's the biggest, but like just a lot of big game companies like Ubisoft are infamous for like making these amazing gameplay trailers and then like backscaling like.
Well, that's why I never believe these hardware reveals, because every time a new console is about to come out, you see those words on the bottom of the fucking screen of a game trailer that says running on actual hardware. And the trailer shows like it's running at like fucking 50 million K and at fucking 500 frames per second, right?
Yep.
Because it's running on somebody's super fucking powered God PC in the back.
Yeah.
And then when it comes out, well, we had to downtone it to 30 frames per second, 720p to get it to run, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I never believe that shit anymore. I don't give a fuck what you tell me. I don't believe it anymore.
Did you see Project Athia or Athia?
Yeah,
Looked really interesting. Where you had the fucking vine powers going over that monster or whatever.
Yeah, I kind of tuned that out a little bit because the only things that really like got me interested were Resident Evil and Oddworld. I'm like, I don't remember much of the other stuff because like I was waiting for some big awesome E3 kind of review.
Yeah. Have you ever played Horizon Zero Dawn, the first one?
No,
I highly recommend it. That game is amazing.
Really, it looked really boring to me actually.
It's really fun. It's really fun.
Okay.
So I do highly recommend playing it. I am
kind of
excited for the second one, but I don't think that the second one it's gonna be hard for the second one to live up to the first one.
Is Horizon Zero Dawn the one with like the robot?
Yeah,
like...
robot dinosaurs and stuff. Yeah. So
I'm surprised people didn't call that trailer racist for all the like natives in wooden masks and stuff.
Yep, right?
The way shit goes these days.
Project Anthem? No. Athia.
Yeah. Fuck Anthem.
Fuck Anthem. Yeah,
that was garbage.
Game was horrible. Jesus.
It was like the most hype thing,
this shit sucks.
And it just went so bad.
Yeah.
They were trying to steal the Destiny formula, but did it way worse.
Yeah, I did it terrible.
So
like you can screw up bad with the release and recover, but they screwed up bad and just
yeah.
Like look at what's it called? What was that game everyone was hyped for with like bajillion planets?
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, that's amazing now.
That game still I still have a tear in my heart because of that game.
I don't care how amazing anybody tells me it is. You burnt me once. I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
No,
that was the single worst stream that I ever did, and I've done a lot.
Mex's YouTube channel has one video of me and him playing that game, and then
I also have 50 powers, but I think it's private and everything.
I started playing that game. Everything I said was, "Oh my god, this game is giving me a headache. Oh my god, there's nothing to do. Why am I walking in circles with no objective? I can't build anything. I can't do anything. This game sucks." Like that was the whole stream.
All the game had to do to really make it better was just make it to where you could build stuff, and then make it to where you could you just hop in your spaceship instead of having
rushed in space. Like that's what it should have been.
And it had it to where you go out into space and there's just a bunch of other ships that you can just fight with, you know?
Yeah, if you see other players flying in ships, it should have been like a whole bunch of different ship parts that you could put on your ship.
It was multiplayer, quote unquote multiplayer.
You could never to anybody, but they lied. There was no multiplayer.
They promised everything and gave nothing, and now they're like making it better. But so many people are like, "Nah, I don't want to play this."
I'm trying to think, was there any games that got announced that we didn't mention at all?
I don't think so. I can Google a list really quick.
Yeah, Google a list up, and let's see if we missed anything.
I'll G me it up really quick.
PS5 games announced.
Deathloop. We talked Spider-Man.
Canada Bridge of Spirits. Goodbye Volcano High.
Yeah,
Ghostwire Tokyo.
The Tokyo one looked pretty good. That looked like a good Japanese horror game.
Was it Ghostwire Tokyo?
Yeah, that one looked pretty decent.
Well, Mikami's working on that,
yeah.
so it's probably going to be decent.
So yeah,
Returnal is another one.
What is it?
Returnal, game based around a time loop, aptly named blah blah blah. Players taking the role of an astronaut trying again and again and again to escape a dangerous alien world.
That looked weird.
A lot
of the games that they showed really looked like indie, really artsy games, which kind of
another one that we didn't mention was the one that was in space. I don't remember the name of it, but like where you're on the ground and then you're with the little girl, and then all of a sudden you're on the moon.
Pragmata.
Yeah, that's a Capcom game, bro. Like I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I'm interested. It intrigued me, but I need to see more.
Astra's Playroom.
Because it honestly sort of looked a little bit like Death Stranding on the moon. So we'll see.
Yeah, I literally said, Death Stranding too.
Godfall, a third-person brawler following in the footsteps of God of War.
Oh yeah, that one looked good. That one looked good.
And that's about it, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what's actually available on launch.
I'm
sure it's still up in the air right now.
To see what comes in the coming months of announcements and stuff, because there's going to be more.
And they didn't say anything about backwards compatibility, which bothered me too.
Yeah. I think they'll have another event or something where they'll announce price and all that, as well as that kind of stuff.
Maybe. All I ask is this: if there is no backwards compatibility at all, just say it someplace. Don't keep my hopes up.
Yeah,
That's all I'm asking.
Well, here's the thing as well. Like they didn't give us any features of the PlayStation 5 other than just like games that were coming out with it, right?
Yeah.
They didn't give us like any features like, oh, you can do this and this on the PlayStation 5, only on the PlayStation 5. You know, I feel like that's gonna come at a later date when the price comes out as well.
And I feel like they've also lost a lot of exclusives because with like the PS3, PS4, there was Uncharted, there's all these different games that were exclusive. Yes. And now I can't think of many that would be like, oh wow, I want that system because of that game.
Well, I think
that's the thing. There was no blockbusters. Like Spider-Man, we knew was gonna come.
Here's the thing, though. PlayStation, I think, regardless, I think you have to acknowledge that they're gonna have better exclusives.
The Demon Souls remake.
That
whole point is making.
Demon Souls, yes.
Could not believe they're remaking. And when I say they're remaking it, they're rebuilding the fucking game.
Yeah, like
PS5 it has an amazing track record for doing these things, and it looks ridiculous.
Yep.
PS5 will always have better exclusives, I think, than Xbox. Xbox's last like great exclusives were Halo. That was it.
Well, even Halo, the new Halo that's coming out for
Gears,
the Xbox Series. Gears and Halo. But again, you're getting
they haven't impressed at all.
They don't have any. Here's the thing with Xbox exclusives, like their exclusive games don't have a lot of variety. They're shooter action games, right?
Yeah.
Halo and the Gears games.
Sony doesn't have that many exclusives either.
Let me tell you.
Uncharted.
Let me break it to you. Uncharted. You got Last of Us if you count that. Because I don't know if it's going to be a PS5 game.
It's the same engine, bro. Like it's actually the same engine.
Okay, well you got those two, right? You got Ratchet and Clank, right? They decided to come out with like Sly Cooper. You have Sly Cooper.
Was Little Big Planet one?
Little Big Planet. You're gonna have Sackboy. You're gonna have Spider-Man. You're gonna have God of War.
No,
that's a pretty big variety.
There's definitely variety. Yeah,
there's a ton of variety there, and I think that they give you everybody that has a game, the game type that they like.
All your sports games,
yeah. Everybody, MLB The Show. MLB The Show is only on PlayStation.
Yeah.
So if you have a game type that you like say I like sports games, PlayStation's gonna be better for me, so I can get that baseball game. If I want an action game, right? Oh, I want The Last of Us or Uncharted, PlayStation, right?
What's I'm saying? At this point, for me, if I want an Xbox, it's only because I want to play Halo, Gears, or Forza.
Yeah.
That's it. And I will still say this: Forza's a big one because if I want to play a racing game, Forza is way better than Gran Turismo, and it pisses me off that the Gran Turismo games don't put in the kind of the aesthetic customization that Forza puts in. That gives it an extra flair. And I in general, I just love customization modes.
And then here's another thing that I have a problem with Xbox. All of their exclusives are coming to PC. It's not exclusive
so you don't
anymore.
need an Xbox. Yeah, you could just get the PC version.
Why would you, like, out of everything, why would you get an Xbox and a PlayStation versus getting a PC
and a PlayStation?
It would be pointless for you to get a PC and an Xbox. If you have a PC and you want a console, you're not going to get an Xbox because you can already play all those fucking games.
Yeah, you're right. I'm down. Yeah, I was going to get a PlayStation anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I care somewhat.
I don't know if this is still happening, but I heard a rumor that the Xbox Series X is going to be able to run Steam on it.
Really?
That's actually really interesting.
That is interesting.
I don't think they would do that, but we'll see.
I don't think so either. Yeah. Especially with Steam having their Steam boxes.
Here's another thing. I want to play UFC, and so far there's been 3 UFC games, none of which have made it to PC.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing for me. But I mean, it's multiplayer, but it's a big reason for me to have a console over a PC.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Is there anything else that we need to bring up? We've been going for
about
an hour and 47 minutes.
Really? Side note: I like the little media remote they showed when they showed the PS5 accessories.
The little white media remote.
Yep, it's small, it's sleek, and it has all the buttons you need.
Yep.
And I think consoles, especially these days, that are trying to be multimedia machines, like you could watch. I have a smart TV, so I leave my PlayStation in here because I can watch my Netflix and my YouTube on the TV. But if you don't, you definitely need one of those remotes. This way, you don't constantly have to be sitting there like this going through your Netflix or whatever.
Well, here's another thing
like that
as well. I think that the PlayStation is a video game first console and then a media center after.
Right.
And I think the Xbox is the opposite. I think it's a media center first and then
that's what sunk them last time. Remember that the Xbox One reveal?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's those, if you go on YouTube, you can find the how many times they said the word TV.
Yep.
During that fucking it was ridiculous.
But and then the Xbox coming out, whenever they announced it or whatever, they didn't show any gameplay, not a single bit. It was actually all pre-rendered stuff. So with the PlayStation, at least we got some gameplay from next gen. We got to see what's going on.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, like I said, going back to Gran Turismo 7, I want to be on board because as a kid, it was the only racing game I played when I got my PS1.
Mm-hmm.
It was like you gotta impress me more. Why would I buy Gran Turismo when I could just buy the PC version of Forza and have way more fun? The selection of cars is always awesome, But that customization shit gets to me, man, because that's
Yeah.
like the fun part of a card game.
Yeah,
Like, I want to be able to
wait,
do crazy shit.
another
on
card
my
game we
card.
missed, the All-Star game. That's
Oh
that
yeah, the
shit
destruction
looked
and
cool.
everything.
That shit looked
Yeah.
really cool.
That did look cool. That was different. Yep.
I'm there for that one, where you can get out of your car and fucking run around and try and dodge the
Yep.
cars trying to drive into you.
I think car combat should never die. So any form of it makes me happy.
Yeah, exactly.
So very cool.
All right, so anything else to add? Anybody?
That's about it.
That's it.
All right. Thanks to everybody who came by and stopped and said, "Hey, we had a fun stream.
Yeah, buddy.
We're gonna do this more and more because it's fun to do."
I think this is the chillest one we did so far. We just did whatever. I like
right?
it.
It was good. We're gonna probably mix up the layout and stuff, so we don't have, because I heard there were some people not too hype about the Discord window. So we'll look at getting rid of that, making their faces bigger, maybe make the media window a little bit bigger.
Yep.
So or the chat window.
Chat window. Yep.
Yeah. So.
Real quick.
Have you seen the one where it's the Xbox is the holding up a piece of glass like a table and the PlayStation on top of it?
Yeah.
I have not.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. All right. So for everybody watching, thank you for coming by. We'll see you guys next time. Biscuit, do
Yes,
the honors.
sir. Huh?
Do the honors.
What honors?
You're supposed to
Peace
take,
out.
take it easy.
Oh, you want me to do? You want me to do my thing to
Yeah.
end the stream that I do on my stream? Okay.
Yeah. Also follow Biscuit as well on his channel, and also follow me for my music.
Follow, yeah.